All right, so we're back in here now. Good. I don't know what happened. I couldn't fix it, and then I started a new one. And okay, so where were we? I have an audio interview from. Okay, so we were. Okay, so I'm just going to make this announcement again, just in case nobody ever goes to the other one. Rosary, thank you for the super chat when I was driving. I really appreciate it. I didn't get to see it at the time because I was driving. The verdict, he looked really scared. I don't know why they have to do something else, but somebody said it's a Florida thing. So January 9th, he looked very shaken up. Teresa's mother, she spoke. I was very surprised that they didn't have more victims' impact statements. I'm surprised the sister didn't speak and the brother and whatever, but I'm surprised about that unless they're going to speak at the January 9th. Right? That's probably when they're going to speak. I don't know what I was thinking there. So they're going to speak, I'm sure, January 9th. Hi, Peggy. Hey, Katie. You think it's a psych eval? I don't know. He said something about, I forget what name he said. You were shocked at the death yourself? Yeah, it was really weird because when I got home, of course, the verdict was already on. I didn't read the chat, but then when I went to go watch it, I try not to look at the chat because I don't want to know, like, the chat in that room. And then somebody said something like, that made it sound like he got life. So I went in watching thinking he got life. Hi, Delia, but it wasn't life, obviously. He got death. And I think he was like really freaked out. Second thing, when she said the daughter couldn't stay at Bonnie's, she was talking about the cousin Jamie, Uncle Henry Sievers' daughter. Uncle Henry Sievers' daughter. Potter, I don't know what you're talking about. It was confusing the way it was read. They kept saying, right, absolutely. And then suddenly, right, because they kept reading the directions for each section that they didn't really need to do. Only himself to blame. Yeah, but a victim's impact statement, but I'm sure they'll get to do that on the 9th. Maybe Teresa's mother wanted the death penalty and Annie didn't. No, I think they're going to speak on the 9th. I wasn't aware of who Mark Sievers was, so I had to get caught up on then I watched the video. Glad he got it. Jennifer, we have a lot of it here. Carolyn, did you see my message that I emailed you about your question about the messing around in the ocean? No, I'll go look at it now. I didn't check my email at all. I'm probably going to have a little bit of an anxiety attack when I look at it because I didn't look at it at all today. Okay, so now on your live, Jeannie's saying, on your live, I heard you asking about when the fooling around in the ocean happened. It was at Mark's or Wayne's wedding, I believe. I could be wrong, but I thought that's what she said. They were drinking at the wedding. I thought, okay, love you. But wait, I don't think it was Mark's wedding because that would be weird, right? Wouldn't it be weird? I don't think Teresa would be down there doing that stuff. And she would have been pregnant too. I don't know. I'm confused. I have to find out. Let me see. I'm sure his brother was already married, though. Well, that wouldn't be cool. Oh, hold on. Somebody's sending me a code. What does she want me to get? Hold on just 1 second. I've got to get buy a foot thing, a foot spa. How am I going to get this ping? Hold on a minute. She tells me to go get this with the code, and currently unavailable. Well, then you've got to look at, let me just tell her that it's unavailable. She's like, sent me the wrong thing. Hang on. Where the heck is she? Please contact me. Okay. Okay, sorry. Now. Oh, wow. Kristen said there was a story of twin 4-year-olds climb steep ravine to safety after a fatal car crash. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. When did this happen? It just happened? It says Aurora and Rosalind Kreider, twin toddlers in Washington State, managed to get out of their booster seats and crawl up to a roadway after a car accident killed their father. Wow. A silver 2017 Nissan Sentra veered off a road in rural Washington State on Friday evening. It barreled down a steep embankment, struck several trees, and came to a stop. The driver, Corey Simmons, 47, was unresponsive. His daughter's 4-year-old twins, Rosalind and Aurora Kreider, who had been secured in booster seats in the back of the car, checked on him, but he had died, according to the police. And then the police said the girls managed to get out of their seats and crawl out of a broken window at the back of the vehicle. Shoeless, they crawled 100 feet up a ravine to the road. There the girls stood on the side of Bob Galbraith Road, a 2-lane roadway on Whidbey Island, where the police say a woman driving by saw them and stopped. They kept saying, "My daddy, my daddy." Trooper Heather Axman of the Washington State Patrol said the woman, who did not want her name released by the police, looked for the vehicle the girls may have been in. Not seeing one, she called 911. State troopers called the twins heroic for their ability to survive. Most kids have the fear of the dark, and it was pitch black and not well lit. They were able, she said, to overcome typical fears that little kids have, to commandeer themselves to help. The crash remains under investigation. The authorities say it was unclear why Mr. Simmons' car had veered to the right and off the road. We don't know if he had a medical emergency or if he fell asleep, or if an animal jumped in front of the car. Mr. Simmons was not wearing a seatbelt at the time of the 6 p.m. accident. He suffered a fatal head injury. The girls were taken to a medical center where one child was treated for a bump on the head and the other was treated for a scratch on the arm. They were both released from the hospital Friday night. Esther, that's a weird name for Esther Kreider, the mother of twins, referred questions to the twins' half-sister, Rebecca Kreider, 24. Maybe she doesn't speak English? Maybe that's why, maybe they're from another country? Because Esther, nobody really uses that name anymore. I know a lot of the old names are coming back, but I don't think Esther is. In an interview on Monday night, Rebecca said that the woman who had stopped when she saw the girls kept them warm until the ambulance came. She said, "We are trying to talk to her as soon as we can." At the hospital, the girls kept saying that their daddy was all bloody and that they were trying to wake him up and they couldn't. They were saying, "My daddy's dead," but they don't have a concept of death yet, Ms. Kreider said. They think he's coming back. Even though they witnessed the gruesome death of their father, the twin girls have begun behaving like normal 4-year-olds, she added, except when they get tired and ask for him. The trooper noted how jarring such fatal accident scenes can be. "I've been on many scenes where people have been killed because of massive head trauma, and it's not a pretty scene," she said. "I can only imagine what they saw something that no one deserves to see, but most toddlers are strong in the face of traumatic events. Children who experience a traumatic event such as this, if they have no prior trauma and are in good health, generally they're very resilient," said Dr. Fornari, adding that the twins were mature and intelligent to realize that they were in an unsafe situation. They suffered the loss of their father, and something's fishy about that story. Something's fishy about that story. I don't know if anybody else feels that way. I think of that movie every time I hear the name Esther. What movie? Okay, are we still live? I'm so confused. Are you guys still in here? I'm so confused. I don't know how you're still here. Because I restarted everything, and how are you still here? Did it go to a black screen for a while? That is really weird. Did it go to a black screen for a while? I was gone. Was the screen black? Or blue or whatever it was? No, I'm not frozen. I'm trying to read what... Well, how could I have been on because Zoom was off? It was just buffering? We're live, yeah. I'm so confused. No, we're live now. It's very confusing. I have no idea what happened. No, we're not. Maybe yes, we are. Are we live or are we not? Is it live or is it Membrex? We're live, but I don't have my chat in here. I am so lost. Live. It says we're live. It says we're live on the other thing. We're live, but now my chat didn't sync up. Why didn't my chat sync up? I'm going to have to pop out my chat. That was weird that my chat didn't sync up. Let me try to refresh it. That is so weird. Okay, so now I've got the chat. Oh, I have to put it on here like this. This is so weird. Okay, and then I have to see if I can make it larger. Okay, so I'm alive, but I can only see half of what you're typing. This is so weird. Hold on, let me see if I can move this over. There, now I can, hold on. It's so weird. You can't even believe this. It's got my YouTube in the side here. Something's really wrong, but it's okay. I can still see the chat now, just in a really weird way that I've never seen before. I wonder if I should have done this before that last time. I didn't have to pop the chat out. I could have just done this. It's so easy. Oh, live and learn. Okay, so I'm going to play the interview from the woman from our mother's house, okay? And let me do that. And then I'll be right back in the chat. Hang on. Before we lose connection or anything. I think I have it out like this one. No, this one. No. There's our mother's chat. I just had the interview. All right, let me just go back and get it. Oh, here we go. Okay. Her name is Karen Watson, and there's also a Kim there.
This is Detective John Lathrop, the Lee County Sheriff's Office. The date is July 2nd, 2015. The time is 4:51 p.m. This is reference case number 15-268513, the homicide investigation of Teresa Sievers that occurred at 27034 Jarvis Road in Minnetonka Springs, Florida. Conducting a taped interview with first name Karen, last name Watson, W-A-T-S-O-N, a black female, 1/8 of 65. Miss Watson resides at 2705 Via Santa Croce Court, Fort Myers, Florida, 33905. Our phone number is 239-565-5563. And we're conducting this taped interview at the attorney representing it's our mother's home, Miss Kim Hastings, and the address is 27200 Riverview Center Boulevard, Suite 310 in Bonita Springs. Miss Watson, or can I call you Kim? Do you go by Kim or
Karen?
Karen. I'm sorry, Karen. I'm sorry, Karen. Karen. When I introduced myself to you and Kim, I told you I was a detective with the Sheriff's Office, correct? Mm-hmm. And as a policeman in the state of Florida, I can swear you in and take your statement. Do you understand? Mm-hmm. Raise your hand. You swear to affirm your testimony about to give is true and accurate?
Yes.
Okay. And you realize this is a non-custodial. I mean, you have an attorney, but the attorney's not a criminal attorney, but it's a non-custodial interview. At any time you can end the interview. You can ask me to leave. You can leave. So it's okay. We're just trying to get some information on the Sievers. How long have you known Teresa for?
8 years.
Okay. And how did you guys meet? How do you know her?
I met her through our mother's home, being on the board, volunteering.
And can you describe to me what our mother's home is and what you guys do?
Our mother's home is a residential home for teen moms in foster care and human trafficking victims between the ages of 12 up to age 21.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And she was from what I understand from her family, she was a very active participant in that?
Yes, she was.
And she was on the board of directors and some other things?
And volunteering. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And do you know anything about her, any kind of medical problems or personal, anything? I know she's married to Mark, correct? Mm-hmm. And then she has 2 daughters?
Right.
Okay. And she's currently a doctor and she has her own practice here at Estero?
Yes.
Okay, and you know what kind of medicine she practiced? Or
internal medicine. Holistic medicine. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And how often do you guys have conversations? We pulled some of her phone records like I showed you. It's like a huge stack full of paper.
It depends. When we're on the board, our relationship and our interaction and communication grew because of the activities there. So as time went on, we communicated more. There was a time, probably between 2011
Mm-hmm.
and 2000 to 2014, we talked probably 3 to 4 times a week.
Okay.
On the phone, texting, emails.
And have you ever been over to the house before? Do you guys go to the house? Okay.
Not for personal reasons. I went to her house for events with our mother's home, like Christmas parties for the girls.
Okay. So they had a couple Christmas parties and stuff like that. During your interaction, we can go over the stuff with our mother's home, and then we can go into some personal things with Miss Sievers. We were told by the family that there was one child that actually lived with her and her family for a while.
Yes.
That was associated. Was that Brittany?
Not
sure,
Brittany.
Or do you know the name of the child that was associated?
It wasn't Brittany.
Mm-hmm.
The girl's name was, oh my gosh, that was years. I can't remember her name. I can find out, but she did stay there for a period of time, a short period, very short. And it's been like probably, I was the board president at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I was president in 2009, 10.
Okay. Is that common for people on the board to let people live in their home or let them
Well, not while I was involved.
Mm-hmm.
There had been a time in the beginning, conceptions, that a young lady, when they turned 18, they moved out and they stayed with some board members.
Mm-hmm.
Once that situation happened, the board, or I,
Mm-hmm.
as a president, had it placed in bylaws that not happen for
Mhm.
liability reasons.
And was there a situation or something bad happened when the person lived with Miss Sievers, or some problems with her staying there?
Only thing I know that happened was that there was a car accident.
Mhm.
She was in a car with her husband, and I don't know what became of that. I just know it was a car accident, and a young lady that was living there, her child was in the car.
Okay, was the child injured? Was she injured?
No,
There's
there
a
was
lawsuit involved?
Not that I know of.
Okay. Do you know of anyone else that, any particular, that you guys would have a lot of conversations about the connected with our mother's home, about any of the children? I know there's a Brittany Postel.
Mhm.
We saw a large number of conversations back and forth about Brittany
Mhm.
and about Brittany's situation and Brittany being in jail and her requesting to get her son back and all that stuff. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Well, it's a lot.
That's right.
Well, Brittany was a resident at our mother's home for at least about 2 years. She
Mhm.
came there when she was 14. Teresa and I were on the board at that time. Teresa also was the parenting
Mhm.
teacher there. Brittany was reunited with her mom,
Mhm.
and it was something that Brittany didn't want because she knew if she went back, what would happen. We tried to help that not happen, but because of laws, her mom had a right
Sure.
to do that. When Brittany was reunited with her mom, I took her back, and I never do that with anyone.
Mhm.
We had a good our relationship was with Brittany was she was very troubled, and we saw changes in her that
Mhm.
no one could see on paper. Like, you can say, okay, she did a pre-test, a post-test, Ansel Casey, parenting, okay, you can see the growth, but we saw other growths in her, changes in her, that she wanted to change her life.
Sure.
So when she had to go back with her mom, it was a struggle for her. She did not want to go back, and her mom manipulated her in doing that. So she went back with her mom, and when she was back with her mom, she stayed in contact with Teresa and I. She contacted us about some things that were going on in her home, you know, that probably she wasn't really forthcoming with all the information. There was enough information that we could call DCF and make a report on, but we knew it was a cry,
Mhm.
and so then all of a sudden she stopped calling for a while, and we had no conversation, and then she came to visit.
Okay.
She called and said that, she wanted to make a change, and we had a former employee named Kim Scott that Brittany was Brittany's mentor. So Brittany moved in with her, and she was only there for a couple days.
Okay.
I guess, from my understanding, Brittany didn't tell me because I kept asking her what happened. She just went back, but from my understanding from conversation from Teresa and Kim, that Kim felt uneasy. She asked to go through her things and found out that Brittany was using drugs.
Okay.
And told her that she couldn't use drugs in her house, and
Sure.
so she abruptly left.
Mhm.
We didn't hear anything from Brittany after that. We tried to reach out to her, how are you doing, in that search, and then the next thing we heard that she was arrested.
Mhm.
Her child was taken away from her on meth and all of that. So when she was arrested, she had the DA contact us for help to see if somebody would take her son,
Sure.
like Miss Kim or someone to take her son. Miss Kim wouldn't do it, and then she asked if my mom could take him.
Your mother.
My mom.
Okay.
So
And
he's-
is the child Joey? Is that? I think I saw Joey a couple times.
Yeah, Joey.
Okay.
So Joey is with my mom now, in custody with my mom. He was in a foster home there from when she was arrested. So my mom has custody of Joey. So that's a lot of conversation going back with us and my mom and her and that about Brittany. So Brittany got out, was rearrested, same thing for us. She's on meth and all that. Her mom was arrested as well and all that. So this is one of the reasons why Teresa resigned from the board also. One was so she can focus on her career, her office, and she wanted to advocate more. We started trying to advocate more for girls in foster care to fight from them going back to their parents when it's not time. So so that's what's one of the reasons why, and so that's what she was doing with Brittany, using her as a pilot, trying to do that. So Brittany got arrested again, back in, and so they wanted to take her parental rights away already, and it's only been the beginning of the year when she was arrested, January 1st or 2nd, or first couple of days in January. So they wanted to terminate, take her rights away, and so Teresa wanted to advocate for her, talking to her attorney and everybody, give her a chance. She can get rehab in jail and all of that. And so that's pretty much what the Brittany case.
And did Teresa go to court?
Court Thursday via phone. She did
What was
it
a hearing over a phone? And
Yeah.
when was that? Recently?
2 weeks ago, today.
2 weeks ago. And what was the outcome of her case? Did a sister in her case? Did it help Brittany out?
So they are allowing her to have rehab in jail, and it kind of give her opportunity to do what she needs to do while she's in jail. She does have to go back to court. I think Teresa told me October or November or something like that. I can't remember the date, but she still has a long way to go. But it did help her case.
Okay. I saw some of the text back and forth. There was some concern because Brittany wanted to get in contact with Joey or wanted to see Joey, and you guys didn't think that was a good idea at the time, based on, and I can understand based on her situation.
Yeah, we didn't. Yeah, because it's my mom. Joey has really forgotten her. He don't know. And we have pictures of her. I took to my mom of him and her together. He's like he don't know who she is. It's like he just blocked out that first. And when he was with us, he was an early Head Start. He was thriving, and then it's like from that day he left us, he stopped his development. When my mom got him, he's 3 years old. He's still in Pampers. He was peeing, pooping. You couldn't understand anything he said. Like his words were like a baby. And just in a few months that my mom had him, she's got him potty trained, and he's talking, very verbal. He's happy, but he don't know who Brittany is. He called mom. My mom said mom. He calls the foster mom that they placed him with when he was first taken away, his mom. He calls my mom his granny.
And what's your mom's name?
Janie McCarty.
Janie McCarty. And does she still have custody of Joey right now? Okay. Has there been any contact with anybody in Brittany's family, maybe the father or Brittany?
No, my mom has no contact
Any
with her.
conflict where someone came over and started any problems with the family? Any
Nobody
threats?
knows where he is.
Phone calls, threats, emails, drive-bys, anything on the house where anybody was harassing anybody?
Nobody. Nothing.
Okay. Is there anyone associated with Brittany that's ever harassed you or harassed Miss Sievers that would be upset about the situation and the child?
No.
Okay. Do you know if Brittany's ever made any threats to hurt either one of you guys or anything? Was she upset about the situation?
Adolescent stuff when she was there. Like, how kids say, I hate you all, you. Because we won't let her do something. But, you know, just adolescent stuff. They do it every day there. You make me sick.
Is there anyone associated with Brittany you think the possibility that could have been involved with hurting Miss Sievers?
Not that I know of.
Okay. Do you know if Brittany's ever been to the house before, Miss Sievers' house?
Yes.
So she knows where Miss Sievers lives and
Yes.
all that stuff. Okay. And when's the last time you had contact with Brittany?
She was here. When she was here, she said she came to visit. It was the time when she came to stay with Miss Kim, so that had to have been last year sometime.
Okay. And she's currently, from what I understand, she's currently still incarcerated in Broward
Right.
County
Mm-hmm.
Corrections. They have some kind of like halfway, this SAP program, which we're trying
That's what Teresa was trying to get her in the program.
Okay, yeah, that's what they show her under the SAP program,
Mhm.
and the date it was applied and everything, but it still shows that she's in custody. We also have a whole bunch of texts between her and Teresa, arguing about Joey and wanting to see him, and didn't seem she was too happy about not being able to see him and stuff. Is there any other children or anybody else associated with your organization that you think had an extra grind with Miss Sievers, was upset with Miss Sievers for any reason?
No.
Maybe have been to the house and saw what she had and decided that they wanted some of that and they were going to go down there and take it? For some reason, money, jewelry, any reason like that?
No.
Okay. Now, on the personal side of Miss Sievers, do you know anything about her personal life with her and her husband? Does she? I know. I read some of the text. I know she disclosed some things about their relationship and some other things personally that were going on. Can you tell me about some of that stuff?
Other than,
And you're not betraying her confidence at this point. We're just trying to, we need to all work hard to determine what happened to her and resolve this for her and the family. It's not. This isn't to throw her under the bus or muddy her reputation. That's not what it's about at all. But the truth's the truth.
I know that when she was president on the board, and there was always, complaints about how much time, how much money she's putting in our mother's home. So there was times when she said, this is probably, I need to, kind of break away because it's probably going to make us get a divorce. She's also talked about, we talked about her, him being her manager. That might be too much for them, that maybe you need to hire someone. I talked to her about that. That sometimes they're too close. You're together all the time, and that's too much. Maybe you need to hire someone and not have him be your manager as well. If you can afford it or not, but if you want to save your marriage, this might be something that you should think about. And I don't know.
Anything history of domestic violence? Any accusations that Mark struck her, hit her, was threatening her, scared her in any way?
No.
I know from what people tell me, she's a very strong, independent woman. But anything about any infidelities with her side of the relationship or with Mark?
Never. I never heard anything.
Did you ever mention Dr. Nick Delgado? That she talked a little bit in some of your texts back in like 2013 about a doctor she met in Orlando. I guess he's into the same kind of therapy and medicine she is, and you met her at a conference.
I don't remember the name. I know she had met, and she was going back and forth, and she had told me about some doctors she had met that's going to help her with her business, help her get it's more established. She was doing some videotaping, and she also had gotten connected with Whole Foods, working with their employees with that. I don't remember names. I'm going to tell you. She talked to me about doctors, and also another person past year, within the last 10 months, someone she was working with, going back and forth with Texas, because she was like, she was really mad about them or how.
One of her employees or like a coworker she was upset with?
A colleague that she was partnering with or working with. I can't remember the name, but she was upset with them, how they were trying to really think that she was trying to use her, her knowledge, her expertise to promote them and not pay her what she was valued at. She was upset about that, and also how when I was driving one day and she was going. A lot of times I just listened to her. I didn't really take in everything that she was saying because I just know that she just needed a sounding board. And so I know she was telling me about one guy. I don't remember names. I'm terrible with that, but that he was doing an interview and he wanted her to say something about Christ, like. Jesus, like denouncing it, and so she was like, I can't do that. That goes against what I believe. And I said, I asked her, was it because she was calling and asking me what my thoughts were on it, because she knows my religious background. She knows I said, well, is the money, what you're going to make, worth you denouncing your faith? And she said, oh, no, that's how she was.
Yeah, that's what her sister said. Her mom said, so I could picture her saying that.
Yeah, she always said, what the fuck? People? What's going on with these people? But anyway, she's like, hell no, I'm not going to do that, and it's not worth it. I'm not, I just listened to, I just let her make her decision, just ask her questions, and she always like, thank you, you always do good for me to call you and talk to you. And that's what we always did. We talked on the phone, she called me, she had, this year, somebody she was supposed to be making a contract with and meeting with, she asked me to pray with her, that it goes, favor for her, and, and I just, was there for her for that.
Did she mention there was several other people, including her husband, we talked to, that talked about sometimes they're, and I don't mean to embarrass you when we talk about this, I know you're friends, but from the text messages, it seems like you're pretty close to her, so you know a lot of information. Their sexual relationship was kind of open in a way, and she was participating with other partners and things like that. And we know in my line of work sometimes, it maybe one person participate, but the other part of the couple might not enjoy that. So, that could be a motive for someone wanting to hurt her or do harm to her. So, did she ever confide in you about any kind of infidelities or any kind of swinging or something they're into that could have invited other people to their house?
She told me that she's been too tired to be intimate with him, to have sex, and he wants it. She says, I'm so tired, I've been working, I'm doing this, I'm here at our mother's home, and I understood because I get like that too, and then you get a certain age and you just don't feel that way. For me, if anybody, I did at one time feel in the beginning of meeting them feel uncomfortable around Mark because how he touched or get close, but I pushed him away, and then when I got married, he kind of like really backed off. I used to take it as he just friendly and loving. Some people are just touchy feely, but I would always kind of stay my distance with him and not. And he would say things like quirky things, but I would always brush it off and just, because like maybe she talks about to him, as a husband and spouse, you talk about things that you have conversation with your girlfriend that I may have talked to her about, and she might have said, well, Karen said this and that, so. But it was not for me. It was for us, and not for him to use it to come after me in that way. So I always kind of kept my distance from him in that way. If he got close or my conversation, I always kept it. And if he got into, I felt like he was getting a little quirky.
We mean quirky, like kind of flirting or trying to change the friendship relationship into
Yeah,
something more
trying to
intimate between y'all?
I think like he was trying to feel me out to see
if
if
you
I
were
would.
willing to go along with whatever
Yeah.
he thought was appropriate.
Yeah, it's just I just kind of like brushed it off and just go, and I would just like leave the vicinity. I would be like, I ain't got something else, or I change the subject or whatever it is. I just kind of I'm out of here, so kind of thing. But as far as anything like that, no. They would ask me. She would always say she's tired, and how sometimes she just, because I would tell her the same thing. I'm like, I don't feel like doing nothing. I don't know if I'm going through the change or premenopause, but I don't want to do that. Why do men always want to every day? So. She said, "There's nothing wrong with you." She said, "Because you're, she was my doctor also. So she said, you're healthy. There's not, you just, you're just tired. You put in a lot of hours. Just like her, you just spend a lot of hours." And then say the same thing to her. You're just tired, and if you have to fake it till you make it, we just fake it till we make it.
And she never mentioned anybody specific she was having. And I know that Mr. Delgado's name came up before. The husband mentioned that name as well. I know that there's been several other people that she worked with that she confided in some stuff in. Like I said, our concern would be if he's doing the same thing, heaven forbid, to another woman, maybe the woman's okay with it, but the husband may not appreciate it so much when he finds out, and heaven forbid, somebody went over to hurt her because of that. So that's why, if there is something, we want to know, because we don't want to.
A person that's jealous, didn't want anyone to look at her. And she even said that he's a jealous person. That in conversations, just if a guy come on to her, that just men, nothing overbearing. That's like crazy.
Not stalking her, following her, but he was just kind of didn't like the attention she was getting from other people.
It's like, my husband does the same thing. I was in the hospital. The doctor said something nice to me. He said, "Oh, you're a very classy lady." He's the doctor that's seeing me in the ER, and my husband's sitting there, and I know he was like red, but that kind of way, and not like.
You ever seen Mark get upset, lose his temper, or anything like that? Has she ever confided to you about any kind of? I know. When I talked to the family, they said sometimes she was very, very forthcoming and open when she told you the way she felt. So. She would just spell it out and just tell you the way it is.
Yeah, she didn't care.
So of course, some people heard them arguing and heard her yelling at him. But have you ever seen him
this
being
was
aggressive?
Like verbal. It was this how their relationship was. I just accepted that's how they communicate. They just talk to each other, yell at each other, and that's why I never went to their house or whatever, because sometimes I'm like, I can't be around them. We've gone on events, activities with girls on overnight, Busch Garden and Disney, and I always like let them go. They take girls and I take girls, or we kind of let the girls go on their own because we want them to be normal teenagers and let them do whatever. And ones that want to hang with us or whatever, but I try to just mostly focus on girls and stay away out of their area. But we were there together, but I wasn't like, okay, we're cliquey, we're going to hang together, we're going to go. I went my way and let them go their way.
Did she ever complain about any of her? You said there was some kind of employee. Anything about an employee that she may have let go and let the husband go, and she was, especially recently, she was maybe frustrated.
Yeah, there was
employee.
An employee. There were two employees, Sandy and her husband.
Sandy and Frank, I think.
Frank's his name. Frank is his name. I can't remember. I just remember Sandy because I always talk to her on the phone. They worked there for years, and Teresa's confided with me how she's helped them and their daughter with helping them get therapy and troubles that they've had in their family, and how she's helped them. I know when she was always complaining about him, his work there, and she needs to get rid of him, but then she felt sorry if she let him go, that's going to have one income, because that's how she was. She just was a loving person, and so she was taught me go back and forth with that. It was years. That's all I ever talked to her. It was like a year, 2 years she talked about letting him go and him not being a good worker, work ethics. He do this, and then he mess up this, and then they got to go in and fix it, and just.
And do you know what he did for the practice?
When I went there, he did check-in at the front desk at the reception.
And do you know, was there any accusations that he was stealing from the from the business, or was he angry that he got let go and fired?
I think she said one time she thought that he was taking some medicine there.
Maybe taking medication, possibly.
Yeah, and like I said, sometimes when she's talking, because she's like, sometimes I'm like, oh, it's too much. I can't take this today. You know, you have a friend that you want to, but some days it's like, okay, this is too much. So I'm there, and I'm not totally listening. But I know when she had to let it go, it was hard. It was, because she told me, she said, oh my God, it's terrible. It was terrible. But she didn't tell me what happened. She just kept saying it was terrible. And I didn't say what, and what. I just listened to her. She said, it's terrible. I had to let it go. Da, da, da. And I don't know what they're going to do, and all that. But when I went to her office last Thursday.
Yes, ma'am.
He was there. And it was kind of
like he was working, or seemed to be visiting.
I was in the office, and I walked out the door, and he was standing in the hallway, just standing there. And I looked at him like, he didn't look, because I was shocked because he didn't really look like himself.
And what do you mean? How do you mean that? Was he?
Because he looked like he gained weight, and he was kind of like roughy looking. You know, when he was working, he was always clean, and he looked like he gained some weight, and looked at he was holding a bag. And I just said, hey, how you doing? Just like chipper. And he's like, oh, okay. And I went, because I was coming to pick up something from her. And Mark gave me the keys. Mark was there. It looked like he was training someone, because I had went there the week before that, and he was doing interviews. And so it looked like he was training someone, because the lady was sitting like behind him, and he was at the desk. And so when I came back to bring the keys back, there was 2 patients in the waiting room, an older man and a lady, and Frank was just standing there in front of the petition. Like, it was quiet.
Was it just acting unusual, or was he look like he was waiting for his wife, or was he just acting?
I don't know, because I was kind of in a hurry. But when I saw him at first, I was kind of like, why is he here? Why he looks? I just kind of like, and I just brushed it off.
Did Teresa ever voice any concerns about her safety with Frank? That she was concerned that he was somebody to watch out for, or somebody
the way
to
she
worry
talked about their family, they had a lot of stuff going on. She talked about everything.
Like what kind of stuff?
Like for the daughter and the stepdad. She told me a lot of stuff about them. Just that they had a lot of ishes going on.
Any accusations with Frank and him, domestic violence, or any problems with Miss Sandra, or?
Not, it's just that, they just always had something. She just told me they always have something going on. They always have some kind of crisis. That's what she said.
Did she recently tell you that she was planning on, Sandra was leaving, or she was going to ask Sandra to leave?
No.
She was going to fire Sandra? No, any concerns with that or anything? Okay. Is there anybody else that you think of in her personal life, in her professional life, anybody that, like I said, would be upset with her, would be angry at her, anybody she owed money to, anything like that? Would anybody have any motive to do anything to hurt her?
No.
Is there anything else I didn't ask you about Teresa? Anything about, like I said, her social history, who she's hanging out with, some information she divulged, anything like that? That could be crucial. Like I said, there's a great deal of text, and you're just one of the, you're one of the. She probably had a lot more conversations with you than most people, but as you can imagine, her phone, there's like 15,000 texts on there. So I would hate to miss one that's really crucial if she told you something, or if she confided in you something that we didn't discuss, and that could be like break the case wide open.
Wow, I didn't know I talked to her so much. Oh my God.
But this is from like 2013, so you're talking 2 years of text messages. She didn't delete them; she just kept them.
I just know that our relationship grew over time. And she just told me that I was her sister from another mother. I mean, I got married. She let me borrow her studs. She received some money. She said she received some money from her dad when he died, and she was going to spend it on her. And she went in a limo and took she and I to a Mary J. Blige concert. Because she's like, I can't take nobody else because I know you the only one down with me like that. And so, you know, we went, you know, these things that she was always inspiring me. It's like, and she said I did the same for her. I made her better, grow spiritually, and made her a better person. And she did the same for me. We just talked about stuff, you know, and just people. And she just was a loving, kind person. She had no respect of person whatsoever. You know, she loved everyone no matter what it is, who they were, race, color, creed, sex, whatever. She just accepted them for who they were. And she would get upset with people when they weren't that way. Because like, we go out and speak, and the girls that we work with are in foster care. And they figure, she's a doctor, she's white, that she had a certain perspective of things, like what they see behind their gated communities, and that's why she's like, I'm not going to be moving behind the gated community. I don't want to be like them. And she just hated that, and I'm the only person that she was able. She said, "You're the only one I can talk to. I don't know why people come to talk to me. They just don't know, you know, that these girls choose life. What's the difference? And they don't look at the statistics that because they're black or they're Hispanic or whatever." You know, she just was like that, and I that's why I just cannot understand who or why someone would do, because she would like give her last off her back. She's done so much at Our Mother's Home, and that was another thing. She was much giving money and helping when they were struggling, and you know that was some of their argument, their financials. And she's like Mark said, I can't give money. This is like, I have some cash in here, you know, or pay for a girl's circumcision, or you know, baby circumcision. Don't let nobody know I did this, you know, and that kind of thing. So, just always, I just can't believe. I don't know.
Is there anything else I didn't ask you think is important that we didn't discuss?
I don't know anything. I'm just.
Okay, raise your hand. Do you swear and affirm the testimony you gave is true and accurate?
It is.
Okay, this concludes the interview.
All right, so, oh, you'd like to get an orange, Jennifer? You don't want to get out of bed? Okay, sorry. Thanks, High 61. So, that was, the one, I think, like, if your friend, well, I know she left the board, but I think it's kind of weird if they were friends, and if her friend dies, and then you say, oh, she talks so much, you know, sometimes I just don't want to be, kind of bad, because normally you'd probably feel, well, if only my friend was here, I would have talked to her. I don't know, that just was really weird to me. And then she was like throwing Frank under the bus, I guess because she thinks Frank did it. I don't know. But Mark sounds like he was after everyone. Carolyn, are we going to go over the sentencing? We did. About how it works. They said it was a Florida stipulation. Hold on. Let me see if I can get the right thing on it. Hang on. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so a jury has recommended the death penalty for Mark Sievers. He was found guilty of first-degree murder in his wife's brutal killing. Let's see. Where's the rest of this article? Hang on. Is it here? No. All right. It's a Spencer hearing. That's what it is, a Spencer hearing. So let's look up what a Spencer hearing is. Okay, a Spencer hearings, hold on 1 second, are a relatively recent legal innovation that has emerged in the Florida criminal court system since the state Supreme Court ruling regarding a case in 1993. Essentially, these hearings give defendants an opportunity to provide additional evidence to change the penalties imposed by sentencing. The prosecution also participates in the hearing and may also exhibit evidence to support the penalties initially imposed by the jury's decisions. So, Spencer hearings trace their origins back to 1993 case of Spencer versus Florida. According to a report by a media company, the defendant in the case was accused and convicted of the first-degree murder of his wife. In addition to aggravated assault and other felony charges, Spencer opposed the jury's initial conviction carrying the weight of the death penalty, claiming that inappropriate, aggravating circumstances were considered during the trial. Hold on, I'm just trying to make this a little bigger because it's so small. Okay. Where was I? He appealed the court's decision to the Florida Supreme Court, which remanded the case back to the judge to reconsider the application of the death penalty. Spencer and his attorneys used the hearing to present several arguments to prove significant mitigating circumstances, including the influence of a mental disturbance and inability to understand the morality of his own actions at the time. While the judge overseeing the hearing ultimately confirmed the decision of the jury, it set a precedent for future cases. Since the Spencer ruling was made by the Florida Supreme Court, the custom has only been observed within the state's court system so far. So the format is defendants have some leeway when planning their testimony at a Spencer hearing, which is less formal than trial court proceedings. They may speak for themselves when presenting evidence or allow their attorney to represent them. The hearings are generally scheduled sometime after the trial to allow both parties to conduct research and develop arguments to support their view. Spencer hearings provide defendants with the opportunity to appeal directly to the judge regarding the recommendations put forth by the jury. They are not an avenue for appealing the conviction. Instead, they focus exclusively on the severity of the penalties imposed, and so far the hearings have not been used to argue for a life prison sentence as opposed to execution. So far the hearings have been used to argue for a life prison sentence as opposed to execution. So that's all they can do. They can try to show mitigating circumstances. While Spencer hearings are currently unique to the state of Florida, the precedent set there could contribute to rulings made by courts in other jurisdictions. This concept of a post-trial hearing is particularly relevant in states that allow juries to recommend capital punishment. As these hearings become more prevalent, they will likely become one of the many conventional tactics commonly used by defense attorneys to protect their clients. Okay, so that's what it is. That's why they're doing it. Any other questions? Everybody understands that now? Good. All right, let me see one thing now. Oh, it's 3:33? 3:39 now, I missed it. Okay, Judy. Yeah, I wasn't familiar with it either. I wondered, somebody said somebody just got the death penalty in a Florida case. I guess they had to do it then too. It's 1993. Is it the drive home? No, the drive home. I went on a drive home today. Okay. Hi, Sybil. All right, so let's see what else we have. That's my. So that was Karen Welsh. So we don't have Kim Taylor. Who wanted to hear Delgado? Somebody wants to hear Delgado? Did we hear Delgado? Is that the one we heard last night from California, or is that Izali Ben Jacob? Did we hear Delgado? Because I have Delgado. Let's see if we heard Delgado.
This is Detective John Lathrop, the Lee County Sheriff's Office Homicide Unit. The date is July 2nd, 2015. The current time is 9:50 a.m. This is reference case number 15-268513. The homicide investigation of Teresa and Sievers.
I think we heard this.
That occurred at 27034 Jarvis Road in Bonita Springs, Florida. Conducting a taped interview with first name, it's Dr. Nicholas Delgado, Delgado, white male, 1'5" 55. Dr. Delgado lives at 711 West 17th Street, number H, in Costa Mesa, California.
Yeah, we heard him.
92627.
This is the guy that wanted to be with her, right?
His cell phone number is area code 9449.
Yeah, right. Let me see. Let me hear how he talks.
Now, your relationship with her was just purely professional,
Yes,
or did it
okay.
get more personal?
And we heard Dr. Sally Ben Jacob too, right then? Yes. Okay, so we heard both of those. And then, let's see. What about Jason? Who's this Jason? I think this is a neighbor. Christopher Pauly was a neighbor. Marianne Appleby was a neighbor. Okay, so I think we've got all of the... Let me just see who Welsh Nathan is.
This is Detective Rourke from the County Sheriff's Department Major Crime Unit. Your reference case number 15-268513. Today is June 29, 2015. The time currently is 1:20 p.m. I'm currently located at 27075 Allen Street in Fort Myers. With me present on the 8 is Nathan Welsh. First name is Nathan, last name is Welsh. He's a white male, date of birth 7/10/1976. His contact phone number is 239-745-9561. Sir, can you go and raise your right hand for me? Do you swear from all information about to provide truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth to the best of your memory?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Where are you currently employed?
DM Beck.
DM Beck? What do you do there?
Construction. All around construction.
Okay. Do you live here full time?
Yes.
Do you have any security cameras or anything on that and outside the home or inside the home? How long have you lived here for?
Me and myself 3 years.
Who do you live here with?
I've lived here 3 years.
But who do you live here with?
Oh, my girlfriend.
Your girlfriend?
She's owned this house for 17.
Okay.
She built it. I did the drill on her.
Okay.
She built it 17 years ago when she was 17.
Okay.
So we know the neighborhood like the back of our hand.
Any issues or any problems?
Nope. We never had any problems.
Were you home yesterday?
I was home yesterday.
All day?
Yeah.
Did you ever leave your home at any point?
There was a few times I left.
Okay.
But there was only for a couple hours at a time.
Okay. Were you here between, let's break down, 5 o'clock onward?
Yes. Yeah, we were here. Let's see. 5 o'clock to 6. We were getting dressed. She went to her mom's to eat at 6. So she was getting dressed. Yeah. I stayed here for about an hour or so after she left, about a half hour after she left. So about 6:37 I left, but I wasn't gone long, and I came back.
Okay, so from 6:30 to 7, you were gone for about half an hour?
Yeah, I was gone for about a half an hour.
Okay.
Somewhere in there.
Where'd you go?
Oh, probably just to get something to drink. I think maybe I went to the other house or something.
Okay. You have another house?
Yeah. I'm just moving my stuff back over here.
Okay.
From another place. Oh,
What time did your girlfriend get home?
she was home. She was still finished watching the movie. It was probably around 9. Probably, it was 8:30. It was 8:30 when she got back.
Okay. What's your girlfriend's name?
Oh, Heather. Barbara.
How do you spell her last name?
Barbera.
Do you know her date of birth?
March 29th. I want to say 82.
Okay. Did you hear anything unusual last night?
No, and nothing out of the ordinary at all. I mean,
Did you hear or see anything unusual today?
Not anything. The only thing unusual was the tape at the end of the road. Everything else, I mean, it's a pretty chill neighborhood. Like I say, we hear a lot of fireworks, but it's nothing out of the normal every year. You know, we hear the fireworks, the music, the whatever's going on.
Did you hear any fireworks last night?
I got heard last night. And like I said,
Around what time?
It was about right about dark, like right in the evening time, because I don't think she was home yet, and I was either talking to the neighbor or I was on the phone on the back porch. I mean, I can hear them going off anyways inside, but I did hear something different that just sounded different. I mean, but we hear gunshots anyways, you know.
It's just common to hear gunshots around here?
Well, on the 4th of July,
Okay.
you know, New Year's, we hear gunshots.
So like during holidays?
You can tell the difference, you know. I've been around with guns pretty much almost all my life.
So last night, did you hear fireworks or did you think you heard gunshots?
I heard a few. The reason why I know they're fireworks because I heard the pop, the
Okay.
pop, you know, and then I did hear something about 5 times that just went off straight. It went pop, 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 and it didn't sound like fireworks. It sounded more like a 38 or something. It didn't have a 22 sound. It didn't have a.
Do you know what time that was?
Yeah, it was around. I'm gonna say around. I want to say around between 8 and 9, because I don't think she was home yet, and it was just getting dark.
Okay.
Yeah, I think she got home about. I think she got home about 8:30.
Which neighbors were you talking to last night? These or
I got to talk to my the old man next door.
one man next door?
That's the only one I talked to on the street.
Okay.
Pretty much that's it.
Is he normally home next door?
He's usually home. He usually sleeps all day. He's old vet. He usually don't get up till later on in the evening.
Okay. Do you have any questions for me at this time?
No. Was it white people or Mexicans?
Yeah, we can't really give any
I do
information.
have friends on that street, and I hope it's not the lead force.
Well, I greatly appreciate your help.
All right, that was exciting. Okay, so I think we've got pretty much all the audio interviews. we have someone to cover and carry, right? Alright, the 911 call we listened to. Alright, so let's go back to the texts. Okay, let's trying to find the ones with him to Michelle. Okay, this is Teresa and Mark. Go back. Right. Roger's probation. Rogers and Teresa Sievers phone GPS. Hold on a minute. She must have been on everything came. There's so much of her copied. Right, governor's warrant. Sievers dogs. Teresa's autopsy report. Carries. Hold on. Brian Kelly, who's this? Neighbor Brian Kelly. Sue Hankins. Sue Hankins, that was the one that, the co-worker. Mary Haller, yeah. Okay. I did Fortuna. Jason, trying to get his call detail. And I'm just gonna have to go through there. Batch 4, batch 3. Think there. Let's try this one. Kathy Morin. Did we read Mark Petritis? I don't think we did. They didn't have an audio, but they have a sworn statement and an interview with him. So it says it was on the 29th, and let's see. So they swear him in, and they ask him where he lives, how long he lived there. He says 15 years. What do you do? I'm a surgeon. They go in through where he worked. And then they said, well, what happened? And he said, well, her husband, Mark, called me on the phone at 9:30. I happened to be leaving my house to go to my office. And he said that Teresa didn't show up for work. But see, in court, he said he was at the post office. He said, that's so unlike her. I said, well, what's up? And then he said, well, I doubt that she slept in. See, this is not the way he told it in court. He said in court, he was in the post office and he saw a message. So he said it differently here. He said that he got a call and he said, can you go check? I said, okay. Then he says, I just happened to be at the post office right up the street and I came over and I knocked at the door. So he told it, there was a difference in his story. There was no answer. He had given me today the keypad entrance for the garage door, and I opened the garage door and I walked through the garage up to the doorway leading into the house, which was open. And then the officer says it was opened, and he says it was opened. And when I took the first step in, I saw her laying on the floor, and blood and a hammer on the floor. I thought she was hanging something and fell. When I took a full step in, I saw the bashed in back of her head. I reached down and I touched her in the middle of her back, and I found she was cold and stiff. I screamed. I took one step further into the house and I said, is anybody in here? And I got scared and I came out of the house. And then the officer says, okay, did you touch anything inside the house? And he said, I touched the front doorknob when I first went up to the house. I did not ring the bell. Now, his whole testimony was that he was telling Mark that I'm not going to go surprise her. She have a gun. She could shoot me. This is totally not what he told them on the stand. He said, I touched the keypad entrance to the garage door. I touched her in the middle of her back. And when I ran out of the house, I made sure the dogs were inside. I closed the door. I don't remember if I touched the door itself or the door handle. I do not know. And then the officer said the dogs were in the house when you went in there. He said dogs were in the house. One ran out when the garage door opened up, which startled me because you would think the door would have been closed and it wouldn't be running free. And then the officer said, are the dogs vicious? And he said, no. And the officer said, no, they're very timid. And Mark said, yes, very much. And then the officer said, when you touched the front door, was the front door locked? And Mark Petritis said the front door was locked. The officer said, what about the garage? The door going out, not the electric door, the side entrance to the garage. Was that opened or closed? And Mark Petritis, I did not even go to look. I just went to the keypad to go into the garage door, in through the garage door. Officer says, okay, do you know when Mrs. Sievers arrived back from Connecticut? And Mark says, I talked to her husband. He said that the last time he talked to her was at 11 or just before 11:30, and she was paying her parking at the Southwest Airport, Florida Airport. And the officer said, last night? And Mark says, yes, last night. Officer says, okay, and he never spoke to her today, of course, and Mark said he was calling and she did not answer. Officer says he didn't call her, he didn't speak to her when she got home. And Mark says, he told me that was the last time he talked to her when she was paying her account. And the officer said, you said you saw what she was wearing? Would she travel in that clothing? And Mark says, I don't know. Officer says, okay. Mark says, I did not pay much attention to it. I don't even know if she had shoes on. I don't know. Officer says, do you know if Mrs. Sievers was in any other kind of sexual relationship or anything like that? And Mark says, as far as I know, no. And the officer says, okay. Did she have an ex-boyfriend, or have her her and her husband broken up recently and just reunited, or anything like that? Mark says, as far as I know, no. I think they were having some, I don't know, just stresses of running business and things like that. But they're happy. They're a happy couple. They're working it out. They were. And the officer says, okay, do you know how long they've been up in Connecticut? And he says, I believe, he said they left Friday morning. And so the officer said, so just a long weekend? And Mark says, it was a long weekend, and then the husband and 2 kids were going to stay until Wednesday. Officer says, okay, and do they own a home up there, or do they rent it? And he says, I think family members live up there. Okay, the officer says, how many family members do they have in their family, their close family, between them 2? And Mark says, that live in the home? Officer says, yes. And Mark says, here? Mark, the husband, Teresa, the victim, and their 2 children. Okay, so no other children or adopted children? And Mark says, no. And then the officer says, okay, no elderly children of the family. Elderly children. And Mark says, no. And the officer said, is this her sole husband? Her sole husband. Has she ever been married before? And Mark says, I think it's her first husband, I think. And the officer says, okay, the vehicle there, that's, is that the Cadillac? And Mark says, yes, that's mine. And he says, that's your car? Okay. Mark says, yes. So he says, the vehicle in the garage, the blue van, is that the Sievers? And Mark says, that is her husband's, the minivan. And then the officer says, okay, where's her car? And he says, her car is on the far right in the garage. It's white. The officer says, a white car? And Mark says, yes, station wagon, Mercedes station wagon. And the officer said, so did they take the van to the airport? And Mark Petrides says, I don't think she even drives the van. I think she only drives her Mercedes. And so the officer says, okay. And then Mark says, but then again, they went with so I'll say I don't know. Do you know if the damage was on the back of, do you know if there was damage on the back of the vehicle prior? And Mark Petrides says, I think he backed into something a while ago. Okay, the officer says. And then Mark says, yeah, I don't think that was something unintelligible in the translation. And the officer says, okay, when was the last time you spoke to Miss Sievers, or he must say wife, spoke to Mrs. Sievers? And he said, I spoke to her. She was at our house last Wednesday. Officer says, okay. And he goes, not this past Wednesday, the Wednesday before. So it would have been the 17th. And the officer says, okay, do you know which airline she flew? And he said, I believe it was Delta. And the officer said, Delta? Okay. And she got in at 11:30? Yep. Mark Petrides says. And then the officer says that would be the 6:28, and she flew in alone. And he said, as far as I know, yes. She left Mark and the kids there. And then the officer said, okay, do you know the hospital she works for? He said she has a private medical office. And then he said, okay, does the husband work out of the house? Mark says he's her office manager. Officer says, okay. Mark says, so he runs the business. The officer says, she had any problems with anything? I was trying to look and see if there was any, injunction sort of thing. She have any problems with anybody? Mark says, not that I know of. And then the officer says, what about the neighbors around here? She have unintelligible neighbors? As far as I know, no, Mark says. And then the officer says, have there been any burglaries recently, or as far as you know? And Mark says, in her home? The officer said, yes. He said, itself, as far as I know, no. The officer says, okay, is there anything else you can want to tell me that could help with this investigation? And Mark says, nothing that I can think of. And the officer says, well, what I mean is, well, I don't know how well you know her and you know her habits. That's what I'm trying to work out. would she have left her bag on the garage floor when she exited the vehicle? And Mark says, I thought that was weird. And the officer says, okay. And then Mark says, now, so the bag, exactly where it's at, one of the paramedics had moved it when they came in because, they had their kits and everything like that. So the officer says, okay. And then Mark says, and then I told them she was dead, and one of them moved her bag further to the left of the propped up doorway. And propped, I guess he means further to the left of the propped up of the doorway. And then the officer said, okay, so it was standing up? Mark says, I don't think so, because I didn't move it, or I just stepped. There was a bunch of crap on the, I'm sorry. And the officer says, okay, it's all right. Mark says, things on the garage floor, and I just stepped right over it. And then the officer said, there was a plastic bag with, and then the phone rang. And Mark said, well, this is her husband. Should I answer this or not? And the officer said, not yet. Mark said, okay. The officer said, no, go. And then Mark said, go ahead. And the officer said, this plastic bag was something that looks like makeup. Mark says, okay. And then the officer says, a Ziploc baggie. Mark says, okay. And the officer said, was that moved, do you know, by the paramedics? He said that I don't know. Officer says, okay. Mark says, I didn't notice. The officer said, okay, she's coming back. The residence would be pretty much secure, right? Yes? Yes, Mark says. And you never went out through the side of the garage? No, Mark said. You came back out? I didn't even know there was a side door. Okay, the officer said. Was it open? Mark asks. It was. It was unlocked, but it was closed. Do you know if she'd call anybody when she gets home? Mark says, I don't know. I told my wife to call her yesterday. She said she was going to call her today. The officer said, okay, does she carry large amounts of money? Mark Petrides says, I do not know. I don't think they had a lot of money, so I would say no. The officer says, okay, any weapons in the house? Mark Petrides says, yes, there are. Officer says, okay, how many weapons are in there? Mark Petrides said, I have no idea. I know he has many weapons. He's an aficionado. He likes rifles, and he has guns, and I think he has 2 safes, weapons. The officer says, okay, do they keep any drugs on the premises? And then Mark Petrides says, as far as I know, no. And then the officer said, she worked in pain management, anything like that? And he said, no, she does not. And then the officer said, well, what sort of practice does she have? And Mark said, she does medicine, and more of like a holistic rejuvenation type medicine, so counseling and diet, healthy living and healthy. And then the officer says, medical marijuana or anything like that? No, Mark Petrides says. Okay, any lawsuits going through right now? And Mark Petrides says, no, I don't think so. Any malpractice lawsuits? Mark Petrides says, no, I think she would have told me that. I don't know what with the office building that she's in. I don't know what's going on, how that's going. I know we had talked about it on several occasions about her lease, and she was trying to get out of it and move into a different location. And then the officer said, she own or rent this house? And he said, they own this house. How long have they lived here? I would say probably 10 to 12 years, Mark says. I don't know for sure. Okay? Then the officer says, did they have a landscaper or anything like that worked here? And Mark Petrides says, no, I think it's just them. Okay? Have they been doing their own landscaping, the cop asks? Mark says, I don't know if they mow or they do the plant stuff. The officer says, okay, there's anything else to ask you. May help. I mean, you last saw her when, I'm going to go over a few things. And then Mark says, sure. And he says, to see if anything comes to mind. Like, last saw her Wednesday, you spoke to her. Mark Petrides says, yes, the 17th. And he repeats the 17th. And Mark says, yes, the 17th. And she was over at your house? Correct. And then they left on Friday for Connecticut, her husband and 2 children, just this past Friday. Would have been the 27th, Mark Petraitis says. And then the officer says the 27th, because they left on a Friday, and then she left because she had to come back to work today. Mark Petraitis says correct. And then he said she flew in last night, 11:30ish, on Delta Airlines. Mark said, when she already made it to the checkout thing, so I don't know what time the flight would have landed. And she was in the parking lot? She was ready to pay at 11:30, Mark Petraitis said. Okay, the officer said. And then Mark said in half an hour or so when she landed, I don't know if she checked her bags or not. Okay, the officer said. And then Mark said, oh yeah, I think she did. She had a bunch of bags. Okay. So she got there, and that's the last time you saw her husband or you spoke to her? Correct. She comes home. Mark Petraitis said, but I don't know for sure. I mean, that's what he told me. Okay, so you get a call. What time this morning? I guess he called around 9:30, Petraitis said. So you were in the car, the post office around the corner? Correct, Petraitis said. Come over and walk up, go inside, and you try the front door. I did the keypad, which he gave you the code to. You go in through the garage door. Did you go to the left or to the right? Or he says, I walked to the right of the van. Okay, so in between the motorcycle and the van, did you have to step over anything? And he says, like I said, the dogs came running out, and I just walked up, and then I thought, oh, he was in, and so I walked back almost to the opening of the door, and I said, okay, get back inside, get back inside. And so he ran back inside, and then I walked back in. Okay, you were in there. And Mark says, and he said, and you said, hello, is anybody in there? And then you backed down and called 911? Correct, Mark said. Okay, the only thing you touched were the doorknob, her, and Mark says the keypad. The keypad. There was a green wire thing on it on the kitchen counter. It's like those twist ties. Do you know if that belongs there? It is like thick wire. Mark says, I have no idea. The cop says, okay, Mark says, that's fine. Okay. All right. The officer says, and then Mark says, I did notice that when I went to the front door and I looked inside, that a light was on, and her purse was on the countertop. I don't know if it was opened or not. And then the officer said, wait, the purse was on the countertop? And Mark says, was on the countertop. And the officer says, it wasn't on the floor? And Mark says, no, there was a purse that was on the countertop. The officer says, okay, all right. And Mark says, well, the sit-down bar. And the officer says, okay. And Mark says, and then the light was on, and I saw the dogs running around. Okay. And I pounded, I yelled, and I tried the door handle to see if it was open. Okay. On the latch thing. All right. Is there anything else you can tell me? Anything else that didn't look like it should be here? And Mark says, well, at first, that she had, was trying to hang something and fell. And then I saw the big bash in the back of her skull, and I said, I saw the hammer was over, like on the right when you walk in the door, and there may have been some stuff scattered on the floor. I didn't even pay attention. Something didn't feel right when I went from the front door over to the garage door. I didn't recall hearing anything other than the dogs, and that's it. The officer says, okay, thing to do, sir, can I just get a buccal swab from you? And he says, sure. And he said, just for basically, to run DNA? Yes, Mike Petraitis said. And then he said, yes, please, yes. And the officer said, something cancel you out. I guess it just said it'll cancel you out as a suspect. Mark said, yes, do you want something unintelligible? And the officer said, if I could, that would be something. Mark says, yes, sure. And then the officer says, okay, you swear the testimony and that blah, blah, blah. That was it with Mark. Hey, Gigi, how are you feeling? How's the knee? Two Scooter, was it you that said you watched the video? What video? Good night, Danielle. Hi, Maui Chickadee, how are you? So that's Mark Petritis. Wow, it's 4:15. How did I get, I don't know, I had a crazy day today, but I am going to go because, listen, I've got to do these ornaments tomorrow. You don't understand. And I'm nervous about it, but I'm going to do it. So we'll have to go into the rest of this later on. But in the car, I was saying what I think would be good when we go through the Curtis Wright, or when we go through the Curtis Wright and the Michelle Petritis, it would be nice to have someone else reading the other side of the texts. So think about that. Hi, Lisa. How are you? Lisa, I'm going to do a craft tomorrow. I'm going to do those glitter ornaments. Have you ever made those? I'm doing that. Lisa, did you say you got a Cricut? I think you said you did. I don't know. Maybe you said you wanted to. I don't know. I know that somebody else got one tonight who, VA girl. It's on its way for her. Nerd love, right? Make sure you keep moving around. Did you do them? Did you do the Mrs. Roger Rabbit? You got to swirl it. I saw, like, you swirl it, then you let it drain in a cup, and then this one lady doesn't tell you how long to let it drain, but then I saw another lady go right in there before it dries. This one lady makes it act like she's really good, but she doesn't explain the time lapse, okay? But this other one, she just let it drain, and when it drained, then she started putting that glitter in there. So we'll see how it goes. Should be fun. The scientific community, Two Scooter? Any prints on the hammer? I don't think so, because they had gloves and coveralls and booties, and they don't mention prints, so I think they were print free. You didn't even get, Peach, you didn't even get a notification? What time, Mommy? I don't think I'm going to do it live, but I'll put up a video. I don't know, maybe I'll do it live. Maybe I will do it live. Should I do it live? Then you'll see if I goof up and it's all horrible. I don't know. I could do it live with my iPhone. Maybe I will do it live. Maybe I will, and then everybody can see like real-time crafting instead of like edits and stuff. Or are you talking about the readings? I'm confused. It was at Mark's wedding? She was supposed to call it McCracken chicken. And I saw that, and I didn't get to watch it yet, but she said she was going to call it McCracken chicken. Remember? Live, that's a great idea. If you want to read a conversation, you can put 2 of your snowmen in front of the camera and use them like puppets. Oh yeah, that will be fun. do it live and then see a real live and not a real scripted. That would be nice. A live crafting. It'll be nice if it works out. It'll be horrible live. I'll be like, shoot, this is not working out the way they said. Liars, liars. Okay. Tell me if I'm wrong. Wrong about what, Eric? You would read one part with me. Oh, okay, Lisa. Yeah, I don't know what time it'll be. I've got to get the parts, but you know when I'm like, I don't know, like I could say 12. What's tomorrow? I'd have a better idea how tomorrow's going. I'll try to update it and put it in the community. I'll try to actually have a time. I'm going to see how the crafting works out. I just hope it's not like that I'm not freaking out with the crafting. Ask Mommy real quick, Gigi. How do I get on Slack? Send me an email, Gigi, and I'll put you on there. Well, I would just give you the script, right? I'll send you the script or give you a link to the script or something, and then you would just come on the Zoom like you usually do. And then you would just read. Okay, I just want an opinion if you think Mark's going to kill himself. Oh, do I think Mark's going to kill himself? No, they have turtle soup for him. He's not going to kill himself. You think he's going to kill himself, Eric? For a little girl... Everyone pray for a good outcome. There's an Amber Alert for a little girl after a stabbing at McDonald's in Oklahoma. Everyone pray for a good outcome. Where is she? Is it a parent abduction? Hi, no. If it's a pajama top, I've been wearing it out of the house an awful lot. No. It's not a pajama. At least it's not billed as a pajama top. It's billed as a top. Okay. Do you want to see the wreath I made? Right now? Or you want to do that tomorrow? What do you want to do? What, did you make it with the Cricut? Neither of them will kill themselves, Angie says. McDonald's is supposed to be a happy place, not about murder. Yes, the alert just went out a couple of hours ago. They're headed to Texas. At least it's not a house dress you wear out. She's been to Walmart in PJs. Mark is too much of a coward to kill himself. Oh, she didn't have a Cricut but wants one. Oh, okay, I gotcha. I want to see the wreath you made, Alethea said. LOL or a house coat. Mark will. Okay, Eric, you're saying Mark. Okay, let's have a, what do they call that? A friendly bet? Is that what they call it, a friendly bet? Let's have a friendly bet, Eric. You say Mark will kill himself, and I say he won't. Let's see who wins. All right? We'll have a friendly bet. Thanks, High 61. Someone go watch and share. Someone go watch and share your opinion, please. What are we going to watch? I'm so lost, Eric. He's saying bye and when? Wait, what are you talking about? Where is he saying bye and kisses to everyone, Eric? I missed it. What are you talking about? I didn't see that. Where did he say bye and kisses to everyone? I saw him leave court. He hugged the one lawyer. He really wanted, he's a hugger. He wanted to hug that other bald lawyer, and that lawyer did not want to hug him. Did you see that? He was just like, if I keep writing, I think he will go right by me. I hope he will go right by me if I keep writing like this, like I'm doing something really important. Go on, Mark. I don't want to hug you. I do not want to hug you. And then Mark was like, he didn't know what to do. He was trying to get the bald lawyer, like, I'm leaving. I want to give you a hug. And the bald lawyer was like, no. And then finally, after Mark was going out that way, the bald lawyer gave him like a little pat in the back. Oh, it's on Eric's channel? Okay, I'll have to watch it, and then I'll have to give you an opinion. You caught it tonight on Boredom? I'll take a look at it, okay? I will go over there and take a look at it after this. He said, I don't want to hug a killer. No, it was so obvious. Because I've done that too. Have you ever had like somebody that's just like too much with that like craziness? Like I have this guy that, and I either put things in my hands and stuff. I've done stuff like that. My sister said Bob Dole, was it Bob Dole that had a bad hand or something? He couldn't shake with the one hand, so he carried a pen in it so he didn't have to shake somebody's hand. But I've done that too. Like I don't, especially during cold and flu season, I'm not one of these handshakers, okay? But then it always seems that I get the people that come that just don't take no for an answer, and they don't forget it. So they're like, hey, they keep doing it, even though you're like, oh, I'll grab anything. And you know what I do sometimes? Sometimes I'll grab something like a rolled up paper towel, right? Because if I saw somebody with a rolled up paper towel, not knowing where they got it from, I would never shake their hand. So I think people are like me. So I'll go, oh, I'll just do this, and they'll never shake my hand, right? I swear to you. I have done so many things. Like, I've come out, like, with my hands, I'll put them under the water like I've washed them. And then they'll go something like, keep going, and I'll go, oh, my hands are all wet. And they're like, oh, that's okay. I swear to you, that's okay. You could be like, my hands are full of blood. I just was cleaning up a crime scene. It's okay. Here, how are you doing? Like, I get these people that want to shake my hand. Or Evie, they don't want to do the elbow bump. They want to do the handshake. It's ridiculous. Okay? It's ridiculous. They won't stop. I don't know how to do it. I've come out with things in my hands purposely, and they wait for me to shift things around so that I can shake their hands. It's really bad. I always get people like that, and then I watch other people, and other people can get out of it, and I can't, because I have very persistent handshaking people. Smoking is a great anti-handshake hug deterrent. Just hold your phone with headphones. Oh, I've tried to do so many things, but I have done that thing, like when somebody like I know is a real big hugger, like this guy, like I'll sit down, like, and when they're leaving, I'll just be, hey, bye. I just got to get this down before I forget this, because I'm going to blog about this later. All right, I'll see you later. You know, and then they're still coming over, but that's exactly what his lawyer was doing. I know it because I've done it. Why say mom, love you, and blow kisses? Because I don't think he's allowed to turn around and do that, is he? Isn't that just this thing? Because he's just going to say I love you because he's probably not going to be able to see them for a while. You'd rather give a small hug than shake hands. Right. Or one of those ear kisses. Right? The ear kisses where your head, like the sides of your head, and you go, yeah. Yes, air kisses or ear kisses, because it's actually like your ears that kiss. Yeah, we've all had those creepy guys. Like, have you ever had a creepy guy that kisses, like, and he always gets like, in the Kiwanis Club? I have to be careful. I can't say. There's this guy, and he was probably like a Sievers kind of a guy. But every time he'd go to kiss you, he'd like get a little bit of your and I'm like, ew, gross, right? And I'm like running to the bathroom and like washing my mouth with alcohol. Like, I didn't have alcohol, but I felt like washing my mouth with alcohol. It's so gross. And then when my sister and we were working as realtors, okay, for a while we did that. We went and, but real estate was like real estate up here. It was ridiculous. So we had this guy we worked with, and, you know, my sister's like, my gosh, he just kissed me, you know, like at the Christmas party, but he kissed me on the freaking lips, right? So I'm like, ew, right? So I was like ready. I'm like, that's not happening. So, yeah, it was gross. I could have watched it 50, but I can't take a chance. I'll go watch it. I'll watch it after this. I'll leave a comment for you. Believe me, I'm going to watch it. I'm telling you, I give you my word. You can take my words like currency. You can take it to the bank. I'm going to do it right after this. Very affectionate family. He's a hugger. Yeah, when you know where he's headed with that kiss. Yeah, but this one guy, he wouldn't make it so blatantly obvious. He'd pretend like he's kissing you on the cheek, and then he'd get like, ugh. Okay. Yeah, so now I think they're probably people like Mark. I'm just going to be honest from now on. I have OCD. See, and you know what? I get really nervous. Like, Jimmy will say something like that to people. Like, he'll go, oh, yeah, she's afraid of germs. Or he'll say something like that, and then I'll go, stop it, Jimmy. Because it makes me sound like such a lunatic, right? So then I'll be like, stop it, Jimmy. That's not it. And now he's got Luke that does it, too. Okay? So Luke goes like this, oh, stop, she doesn't like germs. And I'm like, you know, you two are too much. So yeah, they think it helps me. Like Jimmy just said, well, it helps you. No, it doesn't help me. You make me sound like a lunatic. Okay? She won't do that. She's afraid of germs. Like, that's what they say most. Like, if my cousin says, well, let's go here, let's go there. Carolyn won't do that. She's afraid of germs. Yeah, Luke and Jimmy, yeah, they throw. Well, it's true, honey. Well, Jimmy, there's a lot of things that are true. Would you like me to go out and tell all the things that are true about you? You know, it's like some things are private. She doesn't like germs. No, Italians, they're always kissing twice on each cheek. It's one, and it's you. Yeah. Creepy guy, they press too close. Double ew, yeah. Or they're like really rubbing your back or something, right? Or looking for any I can't say it. I can't say it because there's a someone that cooks at a restaurant that I go to, that whenever I go in, is the kind that's like, how are you? And then like rubbing my shoulder. You look tired or something. I'm just like, what the hell? Right? So I'm just like, no thanks. I'm one lucky lady. I'm a wife. You cannot stand the double kissers, Lisa? You stopped smoking. Great, Gigi, that's good for you. They hold onto your arm. Yeah, no, they shake your, how about this one, Hi? They shake your hand and they rub your arm at the same time. It's like an ambush. Oh, stroking your hair. Yeah, that's, yeah. Or when they get right up. Oh my gosh, the close talkers, Angie, right? It's like, stop touching my. Right, Jess? Hey, Jess. Especially when it's wet and they're still right there talking to you and you just want to go to the bathroom quick. Shoulder rubbers, yeah. Personal space is VIP. Yeah, I can't stand it. just tense up and move around. And then, but then if you tense up, they go like this, what's the matter? You seem tense, right? And you're like, yeah, because you're touching me. I'm tense. Okay? The close talkers. I can't take the close talkers. If I know the person will rub my shoulders. If I know the person will rub my shoulders, all you want. I'll rub your shoulder. Yeah. They've turned me every which way, but loose up in the rehab. You can't get away. Right, and then they keep coming up to you. I'm like, I can hear you. You feel the warmth of their breath, or if they have horrendous breath, right, and they don't know it. Relax, yeah, or don't worry. Don't worry. I've tried fist bumping, and it looks like, yeah, right? Keep going at Alma. Please don't stop. What happened to Alma? Keep going, Alma. Please don't stop. What is Alma doing that she didn't want her to stop? I don't like it if they are joking and they... Do you want to show us your wreath tomorrow, Lisa? Or did you want to show it now? What do you want to do? Ew, they spray. Oh, that is so gross. If that happens to me, Alma, I am like sickened. It's hard for me to even walk in the rain because I feel in a not if I'm outside, but like in a parking lot, because I'm feeling like that. I don't know. It's like a weird thing. I feel like the water's not coming from the sky. It's coming from stuff splashing up from the ground, but it's not. But it just freaks me out. Plaid houses? You made plaid houses? Okay, I mean, what do you guys want to do? Do you want to look at Lisa's stuff now or tomorrow? Hi, Brandy. Okay. We'll make it. She's stressing? All right. Can't have her stress. I'll send you the number, Lisa. I'm going to I'm gonna do you a favor, Eric. While we're waiting for Lisa to come on, I'm gonna go on my phone. I'm gonna mute my mic and I'm gonna listen to your video. Okay? Okay. That's what I'm gonna do right now. I'm muting my mic for a minute, guys, because I'm gonna check out Eric's video. Eric, I don't know. I don't know. It looks like he's saying something, but I don't know. Could he be saying anything else? I would get a certified lip reader. Hi, Lisa. Hello. Hey. Well, let me see if... Oh, you know what? I think I have to move you over. Because last time, nobody told me when I was... Okay, there we go. Can you hear us? We can't hear you. Probably hard to see on a phone. No, I could see it pretty good. Okay, I'll enlarge it later.
All right, now I hear you.
Yeah, and we can hear you too. I gave you a thumbs up.
I just realized how horrible I look. Sorry. Everyone.
Oh, look what I was in the snow and rain all day, so it's all right.
But anyway.
Good company. Yeah, who cares?
Right.
So what? Who cares? Okay.
So I'm muting you on my other device, really.
Okay.
But you can hear me all right, right?
Yeah. Billy Jones? Right. Oh, okay. Welcome, Billy Jones.
Now let me see. How do I flip myself around?
I don't know if you are you on a phone?
Yeah.
You could try turning your phone, but it might be too late. Maybe, I don't know, try turning your phone.
Oh, you know what's weird?
What?
I flipped myself. You know what? It's weird because on my phone it flipped, but on my iPad it didn't. Oh, there it goes.
Wow.
Now I don't. Okay. Can you see my plan houses?
I can see your houses. Wow, you've really done a lot of houses.
Well, I'm giving them away.
Oh, okay.
So they're not really for me.
Right. Okay. So wow, you're doing a lot on
this one I'm working on the floor, like on the. But
yeah.
I'm not sure I'm going to use that. I obsess over them.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah, I know. Like I know. Yeah, we act like it's the biggest freaking deal, right? Like, oh my gosh.
Ridiculous.
I know. I can't do that.
Like I made this door, and right, I made the door, and I'll be like this, okay. Do I like this door? Is the door right? Is it real? Because see, this is for my friend who's got like mostly blues, like it's mostly greens and everything in her house. But I wanted like accents to be in the red family. But then I'm like, is it too much red?
Yeah, I know.
I don't like the red. Then you ready for this? Okay, this is how ridiculous I am. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Wait a second. Should the door go on the outside, or wait a minute? Maybe the door should go on the inside. Does the red look better on the inside? Okay, let's try it on the inside. I mean, come on, people.
Right, or maybe you should put like some hinges on. Jimmy said maybe we should build a porch, or are we going overboard? But okay, now here's my problem. See, now I tried to get some more of this, but you can only get this at Michael's, and I thought I could get something at Walmart. Well, they didn't have it. I have a color that's just a little bit different. I'm obsessing now to put that color on these sides.
On the sides.
That somebody's going to say, wait a minute. That is like 2 shades off of the window moldings on the front.
And nobody's going to do that.
I know.
But you'll be thinking it.
I will be.
You will be thinking it. You'll be thinking it.
Yes.
It's going to happen.
Did you trim your windows?
It depends on the house. Like this one I did.
Looks like you trimmed the moldings in the middle because they're thinner.
I did. Oh, sorry.
Down
this
there.
One
yeah. Did you cut those? Did you cut those out so that? Because like, look, they have a wide, unless it's a different house. Did you cut these?
See.
I think you cut.
Yours looks wider than mine.
I know you have one that's wide like this. I know because your first one had a wide thing. I think.
Oh, wait a second. Hold on. I think you're looking at the medium one. The medium one, I think, has wider. Yeah, you're right. See, this one has wider.
Yeah.
I wasn't crazy about this house the way.
So you put flower boxes. I've been thinking about putting flower boxes, but now that I did these ornate windows, I don't think I am going to.
I'm not happy with this. This house isn't my favorite, honestly. I didn't really like this house because I felt like I put too much on the windows.
It looks good though. It looks like I can't think of what the word for it. It looks like out of a storybook.
But then I decided, you know what? Initially, I was gonna like ditch this house, but then I decided to go with it.
Yeah.
And just keep going.
Yeah.
And I just figured, you know what the heck? I'll just keep going with it. But it wasn't my favorite. I'm not gonna do like I wouldn't do this again with the flower boxes and the shutters. I would never do that again. It's too
How
much.
did you get the
But I did it.
How did you cut the wreaths out without a?
The wreaths. Well, I have this. This is the scissor. I don't know if you can see it. Hold on.
The scissor you made the wreaths with a scissor?
Yes, everything's by hand.
See, I'm not good like that. I don't have any patience to even draw a straight line. I can't.
And I have these. I have these are my templates for things.
You made those too?
No, I didn't make these, but say what I'll do is I'll take, I don't know if you could say, I'll take a circle, I'll trace it, and then I'll cut like jagged edges on the edge.
It never
to
comes out right for me.
Like leaves.
Yeah.
But see, that's why I want to have a Cricut, because
if it never, I did my first house like that. I tried to. I have no patience. I can't draw like even a straight line with a ruler. I just have no patience. I always wing it, and then I just want to. It's bad. I'm bad.
You know what? I want a Cricut really bad because I can't. Like I used same thing with the tree on the side. Like everything was done by hand, and as much as I like that, because I'm a very detail-oriented person. Like,
and you've got a very steady hand and an extreme amount of patience, I can tell.
Right, but on the other hand, like I want to get a Cricut because I feel like I could save myself tons of time and energy. Like even
if you had a Cricut,
snowman,
Lisa,
it's like all by hand. Everything's by hand.
Yeah, Lisa, if you had a Cricut, I think, oh my gosh, I don't even know what you'd be doing if you had a Cricut. If you're doing that without one,
I go nuts.
You would. So much fun. Everything would be Cricketed in the whole house.
Like all the windows, everything's done by hand. Like I have this paper cutter that's how I get everything straight.
Right. And I have a paper cutter and I still can't cut straight with it.
Oh, and this one I thought was interesting that I'm experimenting with curtains.
I see the curtains, yes. I was thinking about that myself, whether to put tissue paper or curtains. What'd you do for the
I'm
looking at the welcome mats.
Experimenting with what I like the best. I don't know what I like.
Yeah.
And this one, I felt like this was the first one I did, and again, I felt like I went a little nuts with the windows. Like I think it's like a little busy with all of this going on. Like,
no,
so I feel like I've gotten a little simpler as it's gone on. Like I've kept things a little bit less complicated, and I like it better. Like these two, this one, and this one are like the more. This one and this one are more recent, and I like them better because they're simpler.
Right. And are you painting them?
This one is painted with chalk paint, and this one, and some of them aren't. I just experimented with what I liked better.
Right.
Because I kind of almost liked, like this one's not painted. I kind of like the look of the brown. On some of them. This one's not painted.
Right.
And then this one,
that's
I'm going to do something. I think I'm going to do something a little bit different with this one. I have like I have gingerbread trim, like that looks like candy, and like little, plastic trimmings that'll make it look like a little gingerbread house that I'm going to try to do with this one I painted. That I'm going to try to do something completely different with to see how much I like that. To make it kind of look more sparkly and more whimsical.
Right, like a real Putz house. That's what I was thinking. I wish I had almost painted them with glitter paint, because all the Putz houses, they mostly have that glitter all over them.
Right, and I love your glittery houses.
Yeah, but they only have glittery trim.
They have that look of the way things were when we were kids.
That's what I wanted, you see, because my mother used to have those, and I don't know what they did with them. my brothers and sisters.
I love
you know.
that.
Yeah, so I was trying to recreate that. When Adrian showed the houses, I said, "Oh, I want to make those like those little houses." Now, the ones that my mother
love
had
that.
were tiny. You know, like I have some of them that I got in reproduction, but that's what I wanted to do. And I almost wish I saw tonight they have a glitter paint, and I wonder if I would have done that with the glitter. I don't know. You know.
So that's the medium size
This
house.
is the medium one. Yeah.
That's why the windows have a thicker.
Well, yeah, yeah. I think, but
It's
I
a
think
different-
even my big one has pretty thick windows there. But I just made this molding. See, with the Cricut, I took this as a dollhouse window. It was like one for sale, and you just put it in your Cricut machine, and then you just cut that design, and you can cut your own window. And then I got a shape here, and I made it fit, and I had to measure exactly. So I made the moldings here fit. And there's so much you can do. I made the little door with the windows. That was out of a dollhouse door that I just imported in there, and then made a cut of it. Yeah.
Love it.
I know.
I love the windows that you put on the dormers. How did you get that shape? Was that a Cricut?
That was a dollhouse window. That was my first thing. I'm like, I took this dollhouse window, I put it in the Cricut, and then you just go to this thing and you can cut out all the background, and it was just a window, and I put to the size, and I printed it out.
So you can put something in the Cricut and it'll copy the shape and everything?
Yeah, let me see if I can show.
Oh my God, I'm going to lose it.
You would die if I would show you, because I showed it to J Bells the other day, because she didn't know what you could do with it. And you could take anything you want, like a door, okay? Like the door with the 9 windows, and you just put it in there, and then it gives you this little magic wand, so you trim out like all the background, you trim out so everything's on a transparent thing except what you want cut out. And then you can put it in the thing, and you can make it any size you want. You can add things to it, like if you need a molding that's bigger, you just take a shape, and then you take it and make it a little tiny rectangle, and you put it up there and change the, I'll do it.
Like,
it's unbelievable what you can do.
I don't know if I showed you this before, but like I had to make, I'm flipping you around. Oh, that's new. Say hi to Nunu.
Hi, Nunu.
Say hi, Nunu.
Where's Jules?
Jules is, I don't know where Jules went. They were begging for food a couple of hours ago. Oh, Jules self-imposed. He put himself in the cage.
He did?
Yeah, he put himself in the cage.
Oh, hi, Jules.
Say hi, Jules.
Hi, Jules.
Say hi, Jules.
Hi, Jules.
He'll usually say meow when you say hi. The house is a little messy. Oh, here's the wreath.
Oh,
my husband's still working on the windows, so we're a little discombobulated.
Yeah, I'll believe me.
I don't know if you...
I'm crafting. I've got crafts all over the kitchen.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I have boxes of craft supplies all
Can you
over.
see? Can you see the wreath a little bit?
I can. Let's see. So you've got. Is it okay? It's evergreens, and then you put the bear, very cute, and the ribbon.
This is for my aunt because it's her birthday. Birthday's on Friday. Oh, Nunu's being extra cute tonight.
Hi, Nunu.
And she doesn't have a wreath for her door, so I made her a wreath.
Very nice.
So it's got these little pine cones were on sale at Michael's for $1.99, and they're like frosted with pink glitter.
You mean each or a whole bag?
Like this whole bag. There was 1, 2,
Wow.
3,
That's
4,
incredible.
5, 6. 6 of them in one bag.
Wow, I was looking for something like that. $1, really? Yeah.
$1.99, and they had some that had green glitter and some that had pink glitter on them. I thought they were so pretty.
They are. My kids made something like that. I at the craft thing for kids that they made those little, and they look just like that. Yeah, for the.
You see, the kitchen's a mess, but
Believe me,
right.
My kitchen is just buckets and buckets of craft supplies.
See, there's all his spackle stuff over there.
Yeah, I'm used to that. Jimmy's tools are everywhere, but where they should be. Believe me.
I don't care. I like it. I like when
care.
he's
So what,
puttering
who cares?
around the house.
Right. So what? Who cares?
I have mostly an empty nest, so I only have one kid at home.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, my son's the only one that at home now, so it gets a little quiet around here. So I love it when there's a little confusion.
Oh, you love it over here.
I love that. That's what I love. I love when you're doing, when you're doing your lives and the boys walk in the kitchen or
use the ice maker and.
It's the best part.
I know.
And then you never know what you're going to get. And I mean, I love the boy logic. You know that.
Yeah.
the boy logic is the best part because, like, I identify with that because with my son, it was always like that.
Yeah.
And it was just, you never know what you're going to get.
Never.
So
no.
it's so much fun. It's really great. I still get that with my son sometimes. He'll just come up with something and I'm like, oh my God.
Oh,
really?
yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I believe it. My boys were, I said they were hysterical over the holidays, like, with some of the stuff that was happening, like, what the heck? But then they were telling about other shows with the crank callers and stuff on the swap shows, like this Howard Stern guy does these pranks to these people. That's why I can't even remember when we used to have the number on the screen. It's amazing. We didn't get some really, even more of what we got. That's so nuts. But didn't know where they came from.
And I have to tell you, everyone on the chat is hysterical too. I'm not reading it what everybody's writing right now.
Oh, yeah.
I can't. Half the time it's like where everyone goes is just, it's so much fun. Last night, I gave my parents were over and I had I call it like the OCD ornament because like you made me crazy with this.
Oh.
You made me absolutely nuts over that.
Oh, that one, yeah.
I had to go out. I'm telling you, it was like 8:00 in the morning, and I had to run out like a lunatic. It was like I was obsessed with these ornaments. I had to run out and buy it at 8:30 in the morning. I'm at Walmart.
But you know what I have to do to mine? Did you put yours on the tree?
Not yet. I didn't. We're putting up the tree Thursday.
Okay.
We're late.
Yeah, I'm late with my regular tree too. But
I'm waiting for the tree to go up to put. That's why it's just sitting there.
But I put them on my kitchen tree, right? And two of them, boom, like it's too heavy. So then the ribbon came apart. So I've said, well, I can glue the ribbon back, but I think I have to do something more than glue the ribbon back. I don't know what I have to do. I have to.
Oh, really? It came
something.
Out?
Like the ribbon it didn't break. Like it just came right off. Like I guess it's just like glued on. So I guess with the weight of the book is heavy. The music box is heavy. So I said, well, maybe I just have to use them like as a, like a decoration on the mantle. I don't know if I can actually hang them from the tree.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Because they're so heavy, and it's a little ribbon like that. So I think, I'll glue the ribbon back, but I think I'm going to just use it as just put them on the mantle or something. I don't know.
They're really, but the other night my parents were here. Last night my parents were here, and my mom spotted it. She's sitting up there, and she loved it. And I bought, of course, couldn't buy one. I had to buy everybody one, and I gave her one. She loved it, and I had to tell her how I had this obsession to go to the store, and she's like, "You went to Walmart at 8:00 in the morning?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you have no idea."
But you're lucky they had them. They didn't even have them up here. If it's not for these wonderful people that sent them to me, I wouldn't even have them. I want to ask Walmart, why didn't you put them in every store? I don't get it.
I'm surprised because
I don't get it.
I really am surprised because, like those are things that people want to buy because everybody's really into the whole retro thing right
but
now. They want those kinds of things. I have to show you Nunu. He is.
Okay.
He's such a lunatic. Look at him. He is like a jungle cat. He's obsessed with my plants.
Oh dear.
Anything else? When we get the Christmas tree, right?
Yeah.
He will go inside of that tree.
Oh boy.
He will go in between the branches and climb in and out of it like a serpent.
So what do you do what happens to all your ornaments?
They fall off the tree and I have to put them back on.
You don't do anything breakable.
Well, I don't have that many that are breakable really, but then after about a week, he calms down and then he just sleeps under the tree.
Yeah.
But that's why at Halloween, I always dress him like a wild animal. Like he's usually like a lion or, some sort of he's got to be a wild animal because he lived like the first 6 months outside. So he never forgot that. So he wants to be outside every day. Like I have to open the windows and he has to sit and look out the window when he cries, like whines. Because he wants to be outside.
Yeah.
It's crazy. The other one has no idea because he never went out.
They want to know how old he is.
Oh, let's see. I always do it according to my son because we got him. Let's see. Gary's to the 12. So he's
I don't.
I think he's 5 and Julian's 6.
Okay, Julian.
Because we got Julian.
That's Jules. You call
No, Nunu is the striped cat. His real name is
but I mean,
Tanuki.
but his real name, Jules' real name is Julian.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Julian.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, that was Gary's wish cat.
Oh, okay.
He was Gary's wish. And then we found Nunu on Halloween the year after. He was out and about in the neighborhood.
And you took him in.
Yeah, and so Julian's like the delicate flower, so he was a unicorn for Halloween.
A unicorn. Oh, okay.
Because he's the delicate flower, and Nunu is the wild animal because he's like the jungle cat.
Yeah, Julian's a panther. Somebody said.
He's like. He's more like.
Two Scooter said she has his twin.
Really?
Yeah.
She's got a black cat, or
no?
Which one?
I think the tiger, the whatever. What is he called?
Oh, the striped
Ginger.
cat.
Ginger. What is he?
Yeah,
the orangish one. Yeah.
He's the sweetest little thing. He loves girls.
He loves girls.
If a girl comes to this house, he's all over her. He's like kissing her and like, oh my gosh, he loves girls, especially blondes.
Blondes. If you're blonde, go to Lisa's house. The cat will love you.
Yeah, he loves blondes.
Loves blondes.
Yeah, he really, especially blondes. Oh, my son just got up to get a drink.
Oh, did he? See?
Yeah.
Your mother's live, son.
I'm live, Gary. Say hi. He said no.
He's like, Mom, please, stop it. Oh, my gosh.
He's like, no, it's not going to happen.
So it's like my daughter. She's like, stop. Oh my god.
I was just thinking about, like, you took another ride in the snow, right?
Tonight, I'm not. I didn't think it was going to snow. I thought it was snowing tonight, like early in the morning, like now, not before. Yeah.
But I was just thinking, it was just only a short time ago that you guys were on the lake.
That we were where?
You were on the lake. Like, it just feels like it was such a short time ago that you were on the lake.
Oh, you mean swimming?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now the lake is freezing. Now it's not frozen yet, but it's got a big thing of ice by where the it used to be a beach, but it's not anymore because the lake is private. But in the beach area, there's a big piece of ice forming.
I mean, I don't know. It just doesn't feel like that long ago.
I know. It goes fast. It's crazy just like how Christmas is going. Like, I came out of the Dollar Tree with all the crafting stuff, and this lady, I swear, she comes to me and she goes like this, "Doing your last minute shopping?" And I said, "Last minute?" I said, "This is my craft stuff. I still have to craft stuff." And she goes, "Oh, come on, you'll be shopping right up till the end." She told me, like, and she never even knew who I was, right? And I said, "No, but this is all the craft stuff. I'm going to do crafts." And she goes, "Oh, yeah, like me." I'm like, I don't know, but I'm thinking, like, she's saying it's last minute already, and I'm like, December just started, but it's already the 11th. I don't understand. And I feel like time is just whirling by, like it's just going faster and faster. And like, I don't like winter, but now it's too fast already. It just
I know it is
steam rolling by.
There doesn't seem to be that much time left to get everything done, but it always feels like that. It happens like that.
Worse. It gets worse every year.
I know.
I think we just had Thanksgiving like last week. How I just said to my older son, I was talking to him, and I'm like, "Well, that was last week, Thanksgiving." He's like, "No, it wasn't last week, Mom." I'm like, "But it feels like it was last week." So was it already the 11th?
Right.
I don't get it, and that's why
I can't believe it. Like, December's almost halfway over already.
I know, and that's why I'm like, I think I'm just putting up one tree this year, and I don't care. So what? Who cares? I don't care. I'm just going to put up I have the little kitchen tree. I'm going to put up the other tree because I just can't even get all my ornaments on this one, and I don't think I'm going to put up my big 12-foot tree. And I'm not going to do my railings this year, and I'm going to just relax and do crafts. I don't know.
I know it's hard because, like, there's so many things you want to do. Like, I love to do so much, but every year it gets to be where it's harder and harder to get everything done, and I don't know why.
It does, and I just thought today, I was like, oh, that was a craft I wanted to do, and I haven't done it yet, and it's crazy. But I'm going to do those glitter things tomorrow. I'm doing this, and I'm giving those out.
What
to
are
kids.
they? What is it? What is? I
You
didn't hear you talk about it because I've only been in the chats in and out.
You take those clear plastic ornaments, and now they have them in light bulb shapes, and they have them in flat round. I bought you don't know how many I bought. I went so overboard.
Oh my God! I just saw myself. Oh God!
I went
Go ahead.
so overboard. Okay, but I don't have any other vices. I told myself. And I'm giving them as gifts. I'm going to give them to teachers. I'm going to give them out the bus driver. I'm giving them out as long as they come out good. So
right,
anyway.
right. I do the same thing. If they come out really crappy, forget it. They go in the garbage.
Right. So, but I've been watching video after video, and it really doesn't look like it's hard. So what they do is, and the best way to do is that poly, not urethane, but the polyacrylic from, right? Okay, the blue label. Well, you get that, and you suck a little bit of in like an eyedropper or something, and you open the plastic ornament, or you can use the glass ornament. I'm using plastic because I'm gonna, I don't want the kids to break them, bringing them to people and stuff. So then you squirt it in there, and then you swirl it. And you've got to swirl it easy all the way, like up to the top of the ornament. And then you take it and you turn it down into a plastic cup, right? And you let it drain a little bit, a few drops come off. Then you take glitter and you funnel it into the thing, and then you like twirl that around. Some people shake it, but they said if you shake it, sometimes you get bubble. I don't know how you get bubbles in the glitter. I don't know, but I've seen people that are like OCD about swirling it. You swirl it all the way, and then you could dump out some, but before you finish it, put the cap in and then turn it over so you don't get any scratches, and then you have the glitter ball, right? Then you can either, if you're good at lettering, you could put the initial, but I'm going to use the Cricut to put something on the outside of the ball. And they're really nice when they come out, when I watch them on the video, so I hope that they're going to come out.
Let me ask you a quick question. Now, when Mayara was here, she came to visit, right?
Mm-hmm.
We made these using like oh wait, I can't. I got to flip. Hold on.
Oh, those are so cute.
Now, but I have a question.
How did you make those? You painted, were those the clear ones?
These were clear, right?
And you painted them yellow? Or you swirled the paint inside?
We swirled.
Yeah, inside.
But we swirled, but look what happened with this one.
How? Oh, on the inside? It's cracking, right?
Yeah, so what we used regular acrylic paint.
Yeah.
What did you mean when you said polyacrylic?
Well, they said that holds the glitter, and then they said some people use floor wax or something, and some people use something else, but then this one lady said if you do that, they can crack, and then the next year and the 2 years it doesn't look good, but she uses the polyacrylic, and she said it always stays good. Yeah.
Polyacrylic. See, now I never heard of polyacrylic.
Yeah, you have. It's Minwax. Instead of polyurethane,
I just used.
It's the blue one. It doesn't yellow. Here,
I just used regular. See this? I just used regular acrylic paint.
No.
So, but you called it polyacrylic.
I'll show you what it is. Hold on a minute. I'll show you what it is.
And I'm going to just say one other thing. It didn't crack. This didn't crack. This was. It was hold on. It didn't dry right. It took.
What about if you swirl some more paint in there?
Yeah, I could do that. In fact, that's what I want to do. I actually want to fix this one because it still could come out, come out right. But my point is that it took 5 or 6 days to dry.
Oh, okay. See, we're not using paint. I'll show you what it is.
And we even took after a few days when it was getting like that, because every time we would move it in a different position, we turn it, it would separate from another area. It would move.
Oh wow!
So finally, we took a hair blow dryer and we tried to dry it because it was getting to be ridiculous. After 5 days, it kept doing the same thing.
Can you see that? You have to look at your. I put it in the video, but I don't know if you can see it if you're not looking at the YouTube.
Wait. Wait a minute. Oh!
You use polyacrylic, Sam?
Polyacrylic.
But see, that's for the glitter. Does anybody know why her paint cracked like that? And Mrs. Roger Rabbit says you can add a medium to acrylic paint to make it smoother. Like what could she add to that? Like this or something else?
Is it gesso that I should add?
I'm trying to see. Well, does anybody
reading
know?
The chat.
Yeah, I don't know what they're saying. Have you used 3 white pumpkins to make a snowman? No, I haven't, Elisa.
Two Scooter wrote, Lisa DeFiore is going to run out for a cricket very soon. I think that's going to happen.
Oh my gosh!
As soon
yeah.
as she hangs up. Yeah.
You would be like a lady, like there was some lady that was like cutting stuff out of scissors and it was all over the house.
When I was working in schools, I wanted to get one really bad too.
Oh my gosh, it'd be like a winter wonderland over there.
Behavior charts and things of that nature.
Potter wants to know how you dried it.
Me?
How you dried the paint inside the...
Initially, we just left it alone because when we went on the internet and read about how to make them, it just said to leave them alone. But then after a few days, it was clear that it wasn't really drying, so we used a hair blow dryer on cool.
Okay, Mrs. Roger Rabbit said you might be able to add something like this, but it works on canvas. She doesn't know how it would work on glass or plastic.
Now, online, people didn't say they had any problem with it, so I thought maybe it was the quality of the paint that I used.
I don't think so. I think it's...
I wasn't sure. And not all of them did it. Some of them were fine. Some of them had no problem whatsoever.
Yeah, I just throw some more paint in it and see if it's just...
I think you're right. I think I should just add more paint. Otherwise, they came really great. I found these, too, that I wanted to. Am I boring?
I thought she was I thought they were saying. I thought she misspelled guess, but I guess gesso is something. Gesso.
Gesso.
Gesso. Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's G. It's G.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, it's sort of a medium that, like, if you're painting with acrylics, it
Let me get this off the screen now. Okay.
I've used it before when I've painted with acrylic.
Yeah, they said some of them. Elisa said, "Let me just go over that part, Elisa."
I want to do this too. You're going to think I'm really nuts, but am I making people bored in the chat?
Are you guys bored in the chat? Anybody bored? I don't see anything yet. Let me see. I don't see a thing now. Can you guys type up if you're bored or not?
Yeah, because I don't want to do that. I don't want to monopolize the chat with like stuff that maybe nobody's interested in. I don't like to be like that.
No, Sharon says she's not bored. And then Sam said no. Alyssa said no. Not at all. No. Winter snow. No, not at all. Potter said no. No, like 18 O's. Not 18, but I exaggerate.
This is an interesting shape of an ornament. Look at this.
Oh, I got 2 of those. What are you doing with that? What are you doing with those? I bought 2 of those because I saw some lady say she had a good project and I wanted to have it, but then I never saw what she did with them.
You know what I was thinking of doing? I made this little house a long time ago, right?
Yeah.
And I was thinking of trying to replicate this and make like a winter scene in the globe, like almost like a little snow globe.
You know, I just bought it just came today, a whole package of chipboard.
What's that?
It's like kind of like cardboard, like in sheets like cardstock, but it's heavier, and you can use it on the Cricut to make little houses like that.
Oh my gosh!
I know, that's what I'm saying. You definitely
You're gonna make
need
me
one.
crazy.
You need one. Oh my gosh!
You're gonna make me I'm gonna go insane.
I know.
I'm gonna put this in here and try it. But wouldn't that be cute to make almost like a
little winter scene? A tiny little house? How did you make that tiny little house? Out of cardboard or something?
This is made underneath this is
a block?
Is balsa wood.
Oh, balsa wood. Look at that. See, you need a Cricut. Yeah, it's crazy.
Now, just as a little sample, see, I don't think it'll fit in here. Let me see. Oh yeah, it will. But I was just, this gave me the idea now. But wouldn't that be cute to make, like, you could put like fake snow in it
Yeah.
and make it look like a little snow globe,
Yeah.
like a little winter scene, and put it on the tree.
Right.
Now, all right, this is just,
Oh, you got it in there?
I shoved it in there.
Yeah, like if you could make it like a little log cabin too, and then snow, maybe a
Yeah,
little
like
tiny
not
little
in
deer,
this color scheme.
tiny little deer, and
it.
maybe a little rabbit waving high. I don't, I don't think you can do the rabbit waving high. Maybe you can, wearing red mittens.
Like a little. Can you see it? I can't. I don't know if you can see. Like you could make like a little reindeer.
Right. That's what I said. Yeah, a little reindeer, a little rabbit with red mittens, or a fox with a blue scarf.
Yeah, I love the shape of it too, and it really like it opens up like a jar of wood. Like it's cute.
Yeah.
I don't think this would even take long to make.
No, I bought 2 of those. I just saw those in my craft stuff when I went down to try to organize.
How
stuff.
could you not buy that if you
I don't
see
know.
it in the store?
You gotta buy it.
You
Just have to buy it, even though you don't know what to do with it. You're like, I'm gonna find something to do with it sometime.
No, you'll find something, right?
Yeah, you will.
What other idea do you think? What other thing could you do? You could come up with something.
Some lady, I bought it because some lady that was doing like a Dollar Tree haul, she's like, look what I got. This is going to be a DIY later. And I'm like, I'm going to get that because I know when you do the DIY, I'm going to want to do it. But then I never went back to see if she did it. I'm going to have to check it out.
Yeah, they're really cute. And you said they had light bulb shapes too.
Oh,
right?
I saw those today. Yeah, light bulb. Yeah, I'll show you tomorrow. I'm going to do a haul, and then I'm going to do it live. I don't care.
I want to see the glitter. I want to see the glitter.
Yeah. Oh boy, the glitter. It was a nightmare.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm going to try different types of glitter. I bought the extra fine. I bought like the medium. I'm going to see what happens. What am I going to do? I'm going to just waste a bulb? Okay. You know, you got to try something. How do you know it's going to be good or not? Right?
You don't know till you try it, right?
No.
I wrote down the name of the polyacrylic.
Polyacrylic, yeah.
Never saw that before.
Yeah, that's what. Well, they told me that a long time ago, like when I was doing my sewing desk, that you'll put this on the top because it doesn't yellow like polyurethane when you're doing like the chalk paints and stuff. I'm like, okay. And then I got it, and I know I had one, but I bought a small one today. But this lady that does them like professionally, like she sells them, she says it's the only one she uses. She doesn't use a lot. Like, people use floor wax, and some people tried to use Mod Podge, and that did not work, not at all.
It's not good for everything.
No, it's not.
Podge.
You gotta be careful. Yeah, not good. And that happened to me too.
You know, I mean, everybody in the chat, you know that I love you all to call in while looking like this. I mean, I was asleep until 3:30.
I know. You get up.
But I always wake up, so. Oh, most of the time I wake up.
Are you up now for the day?
Yeah, usually I'll be up for the day.
That's good.
Sometimes I'll go back to sleep, but most of the time I'm up for the day. I just try to sleep when I can.
Sam says she loves the polyacrylic.
Cool. I like to hear all these things that other people do.
Yeah.
That's how you learn.
Absolutely. And so I've been watching the videos on it, and then I'm just going to try it tomorrow. And I'll see it. And maybe I'll just do it live, and then it'll be a real craft experience like anybody would have, you know. Frustration, or it's going to be really successful. I don't know.
Yeah, give it a shot.
I will.
Oh my God, I was just looking at myself. I look bald.
You, after a while, you won't even bother with it now. Like my hair's all rained on, and it's just like snowed on, and oh my gosh, you don't care after a while. So what? Who cares? They said you look adorable.
He's so handsome.
Hey there, he's on all your craft papers.
They both really like when I do crafts. They like to be in the middle of it all.
That's good.
Even Julian, but right now say hi, Nono.
Hi, Nono.
He's such a good boy. They like to be they keep me company. They're good guys.
Yeah, no, definitely. And
I like the video of the new puppy.
Yeah, the new puppy he gets into everything still, but he's not that bad. He likes toys a lot. So I got him another toy tonight that he really likes. It has one of those water bottles in it, so he loves that crunching sound. He's like going to town on it. Yeah, but you got to just have a lot of toys. I never had a dog that likes toys so much. And somebody said it might be because he's a boy. I don't know. I don't know why. I've had boy dogs before, but for some reason, this dog is just over the top in toys. I've never had a dog like this that's so into toys. So,
wow. My Ara's dog is
loves
really into
cats.
toys too.
Which one?
My Ara, her
Oh,
dog
yeah.
loves toys. Absolutely loves toys.
Yeah, they either love them or hate them. Like Sassy, she could care less about a toy.
It's funny. Even my cats are like that. Julian loves toys.
Yeah.
Absolutely loves toys. Nunu has no use for them.
No.
But I think it's because when Julian was a baby, we got him toys.
Mm-hmm.
And he learned like the concept of getting something.
Mm-hmm.
And like, that's for you. This is yours. You can have this. This is your toy. You know, here's monkey, here's your monkey, here's your penguin, you know, something like that.
Absolutely.
But Nunu never had that, so he didn't have the experience of it.
Yeah,
But
I don't know. I mean, I got my other dog toys, but they just were never like toy lovers like this dog.
It's funny. They are individuals.
Yeah.
They are,
This dog is very, very, has a lot of personality. He's quite a character. I mean,
I love
already
that.
he's like a character. Like he sits on the kitchen rug that's in front of the sink, and that's like his thing. Like when somebody comes in, and he's ready. He's watching everything, and like who's getting the coffee, who's doing this. He sits on there and he just watches you, and then but he like a little thing like this little glitter ball went under he was batting it around like a cat, and it went under the refrigerator. Well, he got it out, and I'm like, oh, he's not supposed to be playing with that, but he's like, he just gets into anything. So he's funny.
so cute. It's like having a little kid around. I love dogs.
They're very cute. You know, I mean, he's really cute, and he's losing his puppy teeth, so he goes like. He tries to nibble on things like at your feet and stuff, and that's not so cute. But you give him I just tell the kids, redirect him with the toy, and he does, and he goes on the toy.
Right.
Yeah, you know, it's like
They're very smart.
they are. He knows. Like he's got this Croc of mine that because one of my Crocs, and my kids are like, oh mom, you don't wear that pair anymore. Let him have it, right? He can't do anything to it. So, but I'm like, then he's going to get used to chewing on shoes, and every time I turn around, he's got the Croc again, and I'm like, no, you know, but. What are you gonna do?
So funny.
He likes I think he likes the texture of the Crocs when he's biting them.
Right.
Yeah. So I don't know. They said, is Desi still giving Sassy? No, they're getting along. I took a video, Diana. They're getting along much better.
Really?
They're playing a lot now. Like playing a lot, and then every once in a while, Dizzy gets a little too rough, and Sassy, you know, and then he stops. You know, so it's.
He's learning the limits.
Yeah, but they're playing a lot more together. And
it's amazing to see that relationship, you know, like when you get another pet and then like to see that evolve. Like when we first got Nunu, he was only 6 months old and he was small, but Julian was terrified. Terrified of this kitten, you know, he was terrified. I had to separate them and everything. And then I put Nunu in a separate room from Julian. I isolated them because Julian was, like I said, he's a delicate flower. He's afraid of everything.
Yeah.
But when I separated them, they started communicating by putting their paws under the door, touching each other. Like they wanted to be together after a while.
Oh, yeah,
and then I finally opened the door and let them be together. And from that moment on, they were just like best friends.
Oh.
But initially, Julian was afraid of him. He didn't know what to do. So you just never know. You know.
Oh, you went to the Christmas, Sonia went to the Christmas market. So you sent me the video, I'll put it up.
What's the Christmas market?
In Germany, I think it is. Germany, the Christmas market? Because remember, Christine went to the one in Scotland, and then I said, if anybody goes to like something in the area they want, just send it to me and I'll put it up. And so I think Sonia sent it. I know. So I'll load it up, Sonia. That'll be nice to see. And then somebody else said something. Diana said your son found the dog's puppy teeth. I've never found a puppy tooth.
Really?
Never. I've never seen. Like I think they swallow them or something when they lose them. I've never found one. She said.
No,
her son
I never
found
had that
6.
experience with my dogs when we had puppies.
Yeah, never.
Yeah, like. I actually never thought of that.
Yeah, I have. I'm like, well, where are the teeth when they come out? But yeah, but oh, you sent some pictures? All right, let me take a look. Let's see what she sent some pictures. Let's see. Sonia, okay, maybe you sent before. When did you send it? Trying to see here.
What's the matter, Jules? Oh, baby.
I'll do a search on your name, Sonia, because it's not. I thought. Let me see.
Come here, Jules.
Oh, I think no. Sonia, I don't see. Did you send it to the True Crime chat? I don't see it. I did a search on your name. Let me see. And the last I have from you is November 26th. Let's see. Mommy, I got to keep her baby tooth. Oh, your cat or your dog? Jules. How
Say
big?
hi, Jules.
They want to know how big Julian is.
Too big.
Too big?
Say hi, Jules.
Hi, Jules. Evie says she used to hold her black cat like that. That's a big kitty.
I'm in the process of changing up their food a little bit because they gain too much weight.
Oh yeah.
They just got baths the other day.
Did you ever see that contraption they made for a cat? It was like a little cage, and Jay Leno showed it once on his show, and he's like, "Oh, looks like the cat's enjoying this." It was like, you know, like that thing that goes over the baseball cap that you can wash it in the dishwasher or something.
Yes.
Right. Well, they had one like that for a cat, and it was this like cage that I don't even know why they would need. That closed up on them, so then they were in this cage, and the weight, like the base was weighted, and you put them in the sink, and then you wash them through the little like bars, right? And they would show it like in those Miles Kimball catalogs. Remember those? Like, and right? And Jay Leno once showed it, and he's like, "Oh, looks like the cat's enjoying this," because the cat was not enjoying it, and they had him in the thing, and it was hysterical. But I'm like, does anybody ever use that? That was just crazy. But my cousin's cat likes the water. He goes on the kayak and he sits out on the dock all the time, and he's a black cat.
Yeah, Julian loves baths.
Yeah.
Loves baths. Not Nunu. Nunu doesn't, but he'll put up with it because he doesn't like to miss out. But Julian always loved to go in the, he loves the whole experience of it.
Why don't cats like water? Like, how does that happen? Like, if you get a kitten, how does it know doesn't like water?
I don't know. It's weird. Like, since Julian was a little baby, he liked it.
That's like my cousin's cat. He goes in the water.
I think it's certain ones. I think certain breeds or something. Or maybe it's not a breed thing, but certain animals just like it. He liked it right from the beginning. And Nunu likes to, he likes when you run the water, and he likes to play with the water in the sink.
Yeah.
But he doesn't like to go in the tub and he doesn't like the whole bath thing, but he'll put up with it because like he doesn't want to, like he's a FOMO. He's always afraid he's going to miss out on something, so he'll put up with it just not to miss out.
Yeah.
But like he doesn't like it. Same thing with the car. Julian likes the car, Nunu hates the car. It's just they're just different.
Yeah, they freak around water.
But I think it's when you have we've been giving Julian baths since he was a baby. Nunu never had that. when he was
Right,
a
yeah.
tiny guy,
My
so.
cousin, I think my cousin's had his cat around the water all the time anyway. So,
I think it's exposure. I think it's...
yeah.
And Nunu was like going nuts with the paper. He just loves paper. He's like, he's pushing the paper all over the
He's a
all
paper
over the
pusher.
place.
He's a paper pusher.
Yeah, he loves the paper.
Okay, so
He's
now
so
Sonia,
happy.
let's see, sent it, let's see. Sonia.
Am I being like too much of a cat lady? I think I am. I never
There's a
thought
lot
I
of
would
cat
be one.
ladies in there, so they're all, let's see here.
I'm really a crazy cat lady. My brother is always telling me that. He's like, you are a crazy cat lady now. But I like my cats because they act like dogs.
Yeah, the cat we had was like, it was like a dog too. Okay, so this is, all right, I'm going to throw, can you see the computer, Lisa? Because I'm going to
Go
see
for
if I
it.
can put her pictures, watch
Should
this.
I hang up? Should I hang up now
No,
or
it's
no?
okay. You just we're gonna look at these. Let's see. Let me, if I go like this. Okay. Let me make sure everybody can see. Now this is, I guess, in Germany, Sonia? Okay, this is the parking lot.
I want to see this.
And there's Sonia getting ready to go.
Okay, let's see.
And then, let's see.
Oh,
there she
neat.
is. She's getting ready to go in. Now she got her hat on. She's serious now.
Oh, she's cute.
She is. And then, oh, look at the mountains in the back there.
Wow.
Yeah. Doesn't look like, I would expect it to look colder.
Oh, hi, Sonia.
No snow, Sonia, huh? No snow yet.
Oh, look how cute.
Oh, and I see the Christmas tree over there. So this must be the market. Lots of people. Wow.
Look at those mountains. That's gorgeous.
Oh, look at those little bay windows on the buildings. Look at that, and all the colored ends of that building right there. Look at that. Okay. Ooh, there's the stuff in the Christmas market. See, Casbah has something she went to like this, where they have these markets, and even as it's cold, they're out there in these markets selling this stuff. It's crazy.
We would all go crazy there.
I know.
Right?
Yeah, look at the water. Look at the colored buildings and the mountains. Look at that. Wow. It's crazy.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Here come the people. This lady looks really miffed, like someone just like hit into her and something. She's like, can you believe the nerve of that? And then these two people are looking too. And then, I don't know what happened there. Oh, look, they even put their little garland up on there. Wow.
Man, I wish I was there.
Yeah. Sonia.
Oh yeah, that lady. I'm just looking at that lady. She doesn't look too happy right there. What happened to her?
She looked pissed, like somebody banged into her, and she's like, "Did you see that guy?"
Maybe somebody was like a low talker. Or
yeah.
they gave her a double kiss.
A close walker. A close
walker.
Yeah. I don't like close walkers either. Look at that, and they have this little thing.
Oh,
nice.
Look at that.
Oh, look at that. Is that a cat? Look at that big. Oh, it's probably on a little bit of a delay on YouTube, so it'll be like a minute for you to see it. Okay. What is that? Can everybody see that now? That cat thinking coming out of the window?
Oh my gosh, I don't.
Do you see it yet?
I do. Oh my gosh, it is. You know what that looks like? A boar.
It's got ears like a cat almost. What is that, Sonia? Is that a cat, Sonia?
It almost looks like it's wearing a chef hat.
It looks like suds. I thought it was like suds on it. But maybe,
I see what you mean.
But maybe you're right. Maybe it is a pig. But it looks like a cat. Is it a pig with a chef hat? What is it? It's a baker's hat on the cat? Someone says it looks like a Red Riding Hood. Someone says it looks like a rat.
Yeah. Maybe a wolf? Like Red Riding Hood wolf?
I'm trying to see what Sonia says. It's Grimm's story. Oh, the big bad wolf?
Oh,
yes, the big bad wolf. Okay. Little Red Riding Hood. Okay.
That's something that nightmares are made out of. Is that another character next to the wolf that's wearing like a red dress?
That's Little Red Riding Hood, I guess. But she doesn't look, she looks like a woman though, right? But yeah. And then there's like a little girl, like a doll over here. What is this? Like, see this? Is that right here? I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it is Little Red Riding Hood. She's got a basket in her hand.
Mm-hmm.
Now I see it.
And now here's the frog. And what is this, the Frog Prince or something? I don't know.
Jules, what are you doing? Jules!
Oh, look, there's like a little doll. That looks like a little doll. I don't know what that is.
It looks like...
Oh, wow, look at this.
Is that a monkey?
There's the nativity. Look at that. Wow. That's unbelievable there. Wow. Look at that. Do you see that village right there?
Yeah.
Wow. And look in the back, like in the windows, like all this stuff they have. Wow. Goodness. That's something else. Wow.
That's beautiful.
And this is all just up for Christmas, and then they take it down? That's a lot. I wonder when they get this stuff up. Look at the little figures over there. That looks like... Is that the 7 Dwarfs? I think it is. Maybe? Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I see 6. Huh. And now you're going on, what is that? Like an elevated car? Chalets up there. Swiss chalets next time. Is that an elevated car you're in, Sonia? Look at that.
Mm.
Are those carolers?
Oh my gosh. Go back. What is that? That looks like a...
Which one?
You're right. Is that like a... Yeah, like an what do you
I
call
think she's
those
on
things?
like something where you go up in the air, like one of those
Yeah.
things that are on those, almost on those ski, whatever they call them, those sky something or
Like a
others.
tram?
Yeah, maybe, or yeah,
Not a
some kind of a
tram.
sky car. I don't know what it is.
I can't see the chat right now.
And look, someone's having a cup of coffee right there on the ledge.
Look at that glittery, that lit up little like...
Wow. Interesting.
Look at the view.
I know. She's up really high somewhere.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I mean, look at that. I mean, that's beautiful.
Very nice. And someone's got their coffee all over here. See, there's like 3 cups of coffee, and someone's been doing chopping. And there's Sonia. That's your sister. Is the other woman is your sister, right? Okay.
Aw.
And that looks like is that your tour guide or something? Now it's nighttime. Wow.
That's like the sunset, I think.
No, now it's really night over here. Now they're back, and all the lights are across the street. Wow, thanks. Thank you, Sonia. Great.
Oh, how beautiful. Now see, I'm just seeing what you just said.
It looks like
look at how
Switzerland with a
nice.
Swiss. Is that where it is? Did she say where it is? Sonia, where was that? With the chalets, it did look like a little bit like Switzerland. But it might be Bavarian. Is it the Bavarian things? What do you think? I don't know. I keep missing Sonia. Sonia keeps saying yes or yes. I don't know.
I'm not seeing the chat for some reason. I don't know why.
Oh.
Like mine ended
You
at
don't
like
see the
5
chat?
o'clock.
Really?
Yeah, it's weird.
Oh, maybe just hit refresh the chat. Austria. It was Austria.
Oh.
Okay. Austria. Shame you guys can't. Oh, what happened? Janelle, hope everything's all right. Oh, yeah, Austria. We'll have to look into that. Okay. All right. Well.
You know what I wanted to mention? I put it in the chat before. This is totally off the topic, but did anybody see the interview with Teresa Sievers' ex-husband?
I did. Yeah.
Seemed like such a nice man.
He did, right? And they just didn't.
And they had a relationship up till she died. She was in contact with him.
Right. I know. I don't believe this stuff. Like the only people that are saying that she was a swinger, the only people that are saying that is coming from Mark. No people that knew her said that.
I don't believe it. I think that was all things that he was saying, but and I'm glad you mentioned that because I wanted to get your opinion about, whether or not you really believe that, because I don't believe that. Does anybody else believe that that's really true?
Yeah.
I wanted to...
It's put up if you believe it. It's put you believe it or you don't believe it. But you know what I think it is? He knew they were going to get in his phone and see him coming on to all these women and what and stuff. So then, to make himself look better, he was going to say we had an open marriage, and you know, she was good with it, right?
Absolutely, I believe that. I don't think any of that was true, though.
To make him look like, you know, not such a bad guy, because then he must be like, oh my gosh, when they go through my phone, they're going to think I'm such a crazy guy, right? So I'm just going to say we had an open marriage and she was good with it.
Right. I think I could be wrong, because I could be kind of naive that way, but I don't think most women would be okay with any of that.
No,
I think that would be very unusual.
I don't think like a woman like her that was so concentrated on her health, right? Like, would think it was healthy like that to have your husband sleeping around like that, and if you're going sleeping around like that, and then like I just don't think she would do that.
No.
I don't think she would.
And
everybody's saying no. They're saying he was the pervert, and so, yeah, he is gross, and I wouldn't put it past him. The psycho killer. Yeah, they're all saying they don't believe it. And
it was kind of creepy. Like, was it correct that when you were reading the text back and forth, that like the last thing he wrote was "I love you"?
Yeah, yeah. To her, he hadn't been saying "I love you" or all that baby stuff, and then he was being like really like a jerk, pretty much, right? And then right when she's at the airport, he tells her, "Yeah, I love you," like, knowing that she's going home to get killed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was one of the most remarkable things that I got out of that whole thing that you were reading back and forth, which I think you did. Like, I really appreciated that you did that. Was that last thing that he said, "I love you"?
Yeah.
Like, it just blew my mind.
Right. I know.
Like,
I was like, why?
That's so deliberate.
Like, oh look, I said I loved her. So couldn't be planning anything. You know, it's just like, he didn't want her to question anything. Just go over and have it. Your husband is having surgery. Oh, okay. We'll give you prayers for your Janelle's husband. He fell at the Civic Center or something. And now he needs surgery, Janelle?
Oh, my goodness.
Prayers for him. Any holistic energy healer I've been to will absolutely not engage in multiple swinging partners strictly by the bonding energetic exchange that takes place. I would say absolutely not, at Zero Fire said. Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't either. Yeah. I think that was all made up.
She didn't even have, like, I mean, she was so busy, she could barely get home to, you know, even, I mean, and I don't buy that, because when people say, well, I'm too busy to cheat, that's just an if somebody wants to, they'll find the time.
They'll find a way.
But I just think that, I don't think she was looking to do that.
No.
No, I don't think so.
And he was very conniving.
Oh, yeah, yeah, and he had, like, a lot of time, and if you see these other texts, like, I was reading, like, the one lady goes, I'm going to go up and take a bath, and he goes, I'm getting quite a visual on that. And then he's like, do you want me to bring the girls over? And I'm like, the girls over? And she goes, well, her son was here. She goes, come on over. I'll leave the bathroom unlocked. What? With your kids in it? What? Right? But that's like a great cover, right, for him to cheat on her, saying, oh, I went on a play date at whoever's house, right? Yeah, I brought the girls. And then they sit the kids in front of a movie, and who knows what they're doing. Right? You know, oh, yeah, Daddy's going to go up and help your mom with something. I don't know. Yeah. You know, it's like, and then the wife's going to say, well, what could he be doing? He brought the girls. Like, who brings the girls over to do something like that?
That's his cover.
Yeah. You know, and then there was another one that he was bringing the girls over, the doctor's wife, Michelle, that he was so worried about. So I think he approached everybody, and then whoever he showed the littlest interest in him, he pursued it. Yeah.
And then if the person reciprocated, they reciprocated.
Right. Yeah.
But that was like that last, you know, I love you.
Yeah.
Was like, that's a cold-blooded killer right there. Like, that's psychopathic. And
that's what I was thinking, like, when he's crying and stuff, I'm thinking, like, well, what are you crying about? Because you sent her to her death, you know? Like, there was no reason he had to do that. He had an irrevocable trust. She took care of him. He could do what he wanted. You know, I mean, what was he? I don't know.
And it was the brutality of that death.
Yeah.
Like, that was just, I mean, what a way to kill somebody. I mean.
Yeah. Just horrible. And then he's like, he brings out these little tiny little things to blow his nose on that he reaches in his pocket. And it's like, it's all he does is blow his nose. He doesn't, you never see any tears
Right.
unless they're for him. Then he can squeeze out maybe one tear. But he looked really shaken up when he saw, the verdict today for him.
It's kind of amazing to see these people, these
These guys.
sociopathic people
Yeah.
that really get surprised when they get that consequence.
Yeah, because they can't.
They just can't imagine that that's actually happening. It's so weird to see it.
Yeah, I have this video I'm gonna make of this because like all the guys that that did this and thought they'd get away with it, and then I want to do something like this public service announcement. Maybe it will. I don't know, but they'll always think that one will always say I'm smarter than them. They messed up, So they probably think, oh, he messed up because Curtis hired Jimmy. And he didn't know, maybe he didn't know Jimmy was being hired. And then Jimmy brought the Garmin, right? And then Jimmy brought his cell phone. And, they made him, so some guy's probably going, oh, I wouldn't make that mistake. I do it
Right,
differently.
I would do it without making I'm smarter than that.
Yeah. Yeah. He got
They won't
the
think they're
death
smarter.
penalty, Janelle. Yeah, so,
It's crazy.
I don't know. So it's just like that farmer that killed the wife with the pitchfork, the corn rake. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, that was another genius, right?
Yeah, he made the kid go find her, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, go find your mother and see where she is with that dog crate.
Knowing that she's dead. It's like.
Yeah.
There was one video. It popped up on my feed where they had Teresa Sievers doing one of her videos that she did, as a professional.
Oh yeah, she has a channel.
And-
Yeah.
And one of the daughters wrote on there. She wrote, "Hi Mom, it's me. I'm carrying on your legacy." One of the
Wow.
daughters, and it just broke my heart.
Yeah, that's the
She
one.
commented on her own mother's, and that's one of the things that a cold-blooded killer like Mark
Mm-hmm.
never really, probably never really even thought of when he was doing this.
Right. Yeah.
And it's the impact that it would have on his children.
right, but I still don't.
How do you
like,
not see that?
I don't know. I don't even get why he had to, really, I don't get why he had to do it. She worked all the time. She traveled all the time. He was basically alone, right, to do whatever he wanted with whatever he was doing. He had freedom. She was paying the bills. Okay, he had plenty of money stashed away, so it wasn't that, okay, it's just, they had...
Did he have money stashed away? I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Did he?
They had, I think $50,000 in cash in different safes around the house.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I didn't know that. I missed that.
Yeah, and then...
Meanwhile, there's a lien on the house, right?
I think so, but I think that's because they made a bad real estate transaction. Okay, so get out of that. But he knew that she was going places. Okay, so she was going to have plenty of money, even if it, whatever happened, right?
And if there's a lien on the house, the only problem is when you go to sell it, you have to pay off that lien first.
Right. But
And
why?
it's not like they were
just,
bankrupt.
No. Why didn't he? They were getting food delivered. Why didn't he just? I don't know. I don't know why he had to do that.
He really didn't. It was really
He had a condo.
unnecessary.
He had a condo, his own condo in where is that? Missouri. And she was never looking like she was telling. He was going wherever he wanted.
He had a lot of freedom. He really did. It was a really. It's always. Listen, it's never a good idea to kill somebody else.
No.
Never a good idea
Never.
to kill your spouse.
No.
It
No.
never is.
Never is.
But he had a good deal He had a good deal going on. It
I
just
know.
doesn't even make sense.
I don't get it.
What a waste.
I just don't get that thinking. Even if you get really mad and you're going through a divorce and you're thinking oh, I'm so mad at that person, right? But then it's reality. You're not going to do that because the risk is too great, right? What happens? It just, you don't do that. And then you've got morals and it's not morally right. And what's going to happen if you do something like that, right? So, but then these guys or girls or whoever they are, they think of it. And instead of getting that, they think oh, I think that's a good idea. And I think I'll ask my friend, Curtis Wayne, at his wedding. I think that's a good idea for me to approach it with him. Like, and it doesn't ever seem like maybe it's not a good idea.
Yeah, where is the tipping point where, like cognitively, you say to yourself, it's an okay idea? What pushes you over the edge of reason?
Right, and or your friend to say, come on, Mark, yeah, that's funny, right? You're joking, right? You know, you don't really want to kill her, do you? There's other ways, Mark. Can't you get it? You know, I don't know. I don't even understand.
It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. It's just.
No, it's.
And you know, it's something that now you never met. No, none of us ever met this woman. We don't know her, but I don't know. There does seem to be this sense of like grief that goes into this when you become involved in the case itself.
Sure, yeah. You see what she had, and you heard her mother, and she had all these dreams, all these plans to help all these people, and now that, you know, she is helping all these, like, she's known for what she did, but not because of the way she wanted to be, and her life was snuffed out. She couldn't do what she wanted because of him. You know, it's crazy. But
yeah.
He's a greedy. But see, you know, he didn't take the kids, and that was, you know, that's the thing that stops that family annihilator. That because it wasn't that a new life that's what I'm saying. Like a new life, yes, in the way, but not just like he wanted his kids around. So, you know, and he liked his kids around. But that's what I'm saying. Why not just stay married? Yeah, he had that. Why not just stay married? She was hardly ever home. She was traveling. She was going to travel probably even more when this thing took off, right?
Yes.
And he did his own thing. So what the heck? Somebody would say, "Come on, Mark, you had it made," right? You know, I don't know.
What else did you need? What else do you need?
Rosary, I did. I said thank you in the 2 videos. Thank you so much. I said it, I think, in the beginning of this one and the other one. But thank you for. I did see it. Thank you so much. That was so sweet of you. Merry Christmas. But yeah, why would he do that? I don't know. And Sassy's got to go out, I think. But all right, I guess we'll continue this, and I'll let you know when I'm coming on and see if you can read tomorrow. If you want to do some reading tomorrow night. All right.
Okay.
But I better get Sassy out before she goes somewhere. But
thanks for hanging out.
Yeah, and I'll be live. See if you catch me live tomorrow. Anybody that with the the glitter ornaments, and we'll see how it goes. I don't know how it's going to go.
I don't know why I don't get notifications. It's a weird thing, I'll
send you an email. I'll send you an email or a text or something before I go.
Okay.
I'll tell you tomorrow. Like, I'm going to go on at 2:00 or whatever. We'll see.
All
But
right.
I've got to get some sleep, otherwise I'm not going to be able to function.
I know.
All
me
right.
too.
Thanks for coming on, Lisa. I love your crafts, and you should really get a Cricut.
I love yours too.
You
Thanks for
should really
hanging
get
out.
one. You would be amazing. Okay, thanks. And thank you to our moderators.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for being you, everyone.
Okay. Everybody have a good one. God bless. Love you. Bye.